We're gone scampering across all of the buns, and if it
it's your girl Yana, and I'm back today with yet another video. And today you and I are going to be taking a look at a couple of videos that are so scary you are not supposed to watch them alone. And very clearly I am completely by myself, so I'm sure things are about to get very interesting. If you guys are ready, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it.
This scary video is trending in the Arabic-speaking YouTube community. After witnessing something terrifying, this man flees to his car, but that something is there waiting for him. The creepy video, originally posted to TikTok by elkakoi.tv, also reveals what initially scared the man.
Still.
But as we already know how it ends, the man clearly has nowhere to run.
So it looks like this guy is dealing with some sort of haunted doll. And let me tell you, the doll definitely looks terrifying. It has this incredibly long dark hair and a really pale face. Literally the moment this guy tries to run away from it, it seems to teleport inside his car. I do, however, find it interesting that when the doll was turning around, it didn't really seem to be moving its legs whatsoever. It was literally just like rotating in the same spot. I don't know, that is definitely a little bit bizarre. However, I would still not want to mess with this doll regardless, just in case.
YouTubers Cazadores de Sombras investigate the spirit of the old Macubero in this scary video. While exploring the spirit's lair, they are startled by an unexplained sound.
Bateu na porta.
As they're investigating the matter, another noise is heard in the next room.
Aí, mano, aí, ó. Quebrou aqui o vidro, aqui, ó. Quebrou o vidro. Tem outra janela de vidro aqui? Não sei essa, mano.
But again, nothing. They then do some type of ritual involving dropping a chain in a well, presumably to call up the spirit, and the ritual is successful.
So you go inside of a haunted place and then you perform a ritual. Obviously crazy stuff is gonna start happening. You're about to awaken whatever spirits live in there. And I'm really not sure if that's a good idea.
Pode. Deton Nostrum.
O que é isso aí? Pode jogar?
Terminei.
Shortly after, the spirit shows itself.
Já deu certo.
Nossa, doendo muito, meu irmão, velho.
O que é isso aí, mano? O que é isso aqui, velho? Sai daí, mano! Sai, vai!
Is this the old Macubero?
O que é isso aí, mano? O que é isso aqui, velho? Sai!
Whatever this spirit is, I'm pretty sure it's not friendly.
I'm personally way more concerned with the fire in the background because it fully looks like the entire place is about to burn down. As for whatever spirit was standing in front of it, I mean, it definitely looks bizarre. However, it also looks a little bit just like a regular guy wearing a hat. So I'm not too sure if that's the spirit or not. Regardless, you might want to call up the fire department.
The best place to see ghosts, cemeteries of course, as these paranormal investigators confirm. They posted this haunted cemetery video in October of 2019, writing, 2 different husband and wife paranormal investigators accompany GOCM 1 week apart to investigate a known haunted cemetery. The 45-minute video includes creepy screaming heard in the darkness as the investigators examine tombstones, as well as random voices heard using an EVP, a child laughing. Some of the ghosts even ask for help to leave.
What the?
A reminder to bring your EVP along the next time you enter the cemetery.
Oh my god, that actually fully sounded like someone was saying help. Now listen, I do feel like if you're going inside of a cemetery, you're probably gonna experience some paranormal stuff. I do wonder though why the spirits would be asking for help, because aren't cemeteries a peaceful place for people to lay to rest? I don't know you guys, but this one is definitely creepy. I mean, the voice was pretty undeniable.
This quick EVP is a direct message from the beyond.
Have you got dental items in that spreadsheet? Have you got dental items in that spreadsheet?
Okay, wow, that is another voice that is clear as day. Usually when people catch audios of ghosts, it's kind of like difficult to hear. This, however, is not difficult to hear at all. Someone very clearly tells them to go away. And if I were them, I would listen.
There's a crystal clear male voice whispering, "Go away." No one in the room seems to notice it. I don't think there's much room for interpretation here. The spirit gave us an order, so we should probably listen.
And you know what? The fact that they didn't hear it in the moment is even scarier, because it means that the camera was picking up on the voices that even they couldn't hear, which we have definitely seen it happen in the past. I think maybe camera microphones are a little more sensitive than even our ears. They must have been absolutely shook watching that footage back and hearing that, because I know I would be.
Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by BushWookie83, this Redditor wrote, "Looks like Mike Myers paying me a visit. WTF is that?" Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Give me Ben. Hey man. That was cool. What are you doing? What's going on?
I'm sorry, that is cool? That is not cool. That is freaking terrifying. I have to be honest, you guys, this one is probably the scariest one we have seen so far. Somebody is staring inside this guy's house. I don't understand how he's being so chill about this. I would be losing my freaking mind. It genuinely looks like Michael Myers is pulling up on him.
There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Duck Consume Bread wrote, "Man, I don't know how you could just sit there. I'd already be moved out, lol." While Neo1LoneWolf6985 wrote, "It looks like the reflection of your flashlight on your phone, reflecting on certain parts of the glass, giving off the illusion of a face actually."
If it was his phone's flashlight reflecting in the window, wouldn't it be moving around as he was moving around? And from what I see, whatever that is standing perfectly still, just staring through the freaking glass. I do not like that whatsoever. Something about just being watched through a window is so terrifying.
This poltergeist is about to throw down. Redditor What I Imagine shares this video of a very aggressive ghost. Due to the poltergeist's aggression, I'm convinced that this isn't staged. How can anything but the paranormal act unseen with such aggression? Many in the comments think this video was staged with fishing line. I don't know though.
If it was staged with fishing line, I don't know how they would have moved the chair, because the chair was very clearly getting pulled towards the wall. So unless someone was inside the wall pulling the fishing line, I don't really see how that would work. Whatever spirit is doing that seems to be incredibly angry, like borderline violent. They're literally just throwing things left and right. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think this is genuine paranormal activity, or do you think it's a little bit of a hoax?
YouTuber Om Vlogs stayed in this haunted hotel for 24 hours, and they didn't get a wink of sleep. It all began with the closest doors.
गेट ना अभी खुला प्रियांक प्रियांक उठ एक बार उठ ना उठ ये देखो ये अबे ये देख सामने देख गेट ओ वीडियो ना ये देख
They slam closed, but then open again. They open wide enough to reveal that there's no one inside.
क्या करें जाके देखो
तू देख
जाके देखो देख अभी मूवमेंट है देख मूवमेंट है ये भी वीडियो पूरा खुल गया देख
See, I was gonna say it could be someone in the closet just opening it and closing it, but it genuinely looks like nobody was in there, making this even more unexplainable.
Later, they believe something is in the bathroom. Watch for the shadow in the corner.
Yeah, also. Priyanka.
While the YouTuber thinks that this is a shadow person, I think it could belong to him. Watch it again. Could it just be the way this light falls in the bathroom?
I don't really know what shadow he's talking about. I'm having trouble seeing any shadow at all. Let me know if you guys see anything, but I definitely don't. Not to say that this place isn't haunted, because that closet incident was definitely weird. I'm just saying I did not see a shadow.
A YouTuber called Bangladesh Ghost Hunter, together with his trusty dog Thomas, go exploring abandoned houses and other fabled haunted places deep in the woods. One of their freakier finds takes place at night deep in the woods, where scary things are caught on camera, beginning with a scream.
এবং আপনারা ওয়েট এই জন্য কিন্তু থমাস কোথায় দেখো তো।
As they strain into the darkness, a large number of weird things are caught on camera that deserve further analysis.
ওখানে কিছু আছে, ঠিক আছে, এই জন্য কিন্তু থমাস কোথায় দেখো তো ছিল, মানে হা করে সেই ধোঁয়াগুলো খাচ্ছিল। থমাস,
You can definitely hear sounds around them, but keep in mind they're literally in the middle of a forest. Even though it's nighttime, there's still so many animals all around you. And when you hear rustling, that is most likely what you're hearing. This is definitely the first time we have seen a dog go ghost hunting, and it is freaking adorable. Not to mention, dogs can definitely sense paranormal activity way better than humans can. It's just that in this case, I do think they're probably just hearing animals.
At 5 minutes and 40 seconds, a strange yellow orb glances across the camera and goes away. 2 seconds later, he turns his head as this pink aura is caught on camera that may or may not be the cameraman's finger, but in that moment a strange wispy mist rains down on him that he can't see. 20 minutes and 40 seconds is when they finally see it. A form between two trees in the shape of a person. The flashlight chances upon it for but a brief moment and then it's gone. But it's still there watching them. Of that I am sure.
Okay, that part was definitely a little bit creepy, but they went over it so quickly that I can't really be sure if it was a person or just like a tree or a bunch of leaves that looked like a person. As for the mist, it might have just been their breath. And like he said, the pink orb could have been the cameraman's finger. So this one is definitely a bit iffy to me. Could it be paranormal activity? Possibly. Most likely though, I don't really think it's anything paranormal. It's probably just a bunch of nature sounds and being in the dark making them definitely a little on edge. Because I know if I was in the middle of a forest in the middle of the night, I would probably start seeing and hearing things out of fear, which is what I'm assuming is happening in this video.
Is Lainey and Ben's poltergeist getting stronger? Watch this video and judge for yourself. As usual, the poltergeist seems to be most active in the kitchen.
Activity more and more aggressive.
He has even resorted to ruining their dinner.
Poltergeist just seem to be so frustrated.
And he isn't finished. It goes without saying that Lainey and Ben share space with one of the most active poltergeists on YouTube.
The way that glass of water got ripped out of his hand, that was definitely really scary. I have to say this seems to be an incredibly active spirit, constantly moving things around and even throwing stuff. So not only is it active, but it's also potentially violent. I truly cannot imagine living with such an active spirit. It must be so terrifying and also borderline annoying. I bet this family is so over all the paranormal activity.
This video reminds every paranormal explorer to be always on their guard. The Redditor is driving down a dirt road at night in what appears to be the boonies with no lights around apart from a faint, distant glow, and yet in the middle of nowhere they come upon a rundown white house. It's dark and clearly abandoned, or so you think, as the Redditor drives slowly past, shining a flashlight onto the house. He spotlights its empty and broken windows, nothing else, that is, until he zooms in on a center window. Here appears a white hooded figure without discernible features. The realization of what they're seeing scares them enough to drop their camera and drive away. While many Redditors in the comments believe the figure is a squatter rather than a ghost, this sighting at an assumedly abandoned house would be unsettling regardless. The Redditor writes in the comments, "I've been in the house once and it's like the people living there just up and left clothes in closets, dishes in the sink, toys on the floor. It was wild. I got halfway down the hallway and something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out." He also shares some still photos with varying exposures that he took from the clip. What do you see in the Rorschach ink blot?
Oh, I know what I see. There is a person staring right back at them through that window. When I saw that, I can't lie to you, I got full body chills. Now, whether it's a squatter or an actual ghost, I'm not too sure. However, either way, it is really scary to me, especially considering they're fully staring back at the camera. That really freaked me out. This is why you should never approach abandoned houses, because they're abandoned for a reason.
Posted by Gary B8632 to the Chills Narrator subreddit. Gary explains that his sister visited an abandoned hospital months ago and removed a glass bowl and a basket from the place. Now it seems like something else came with these taken pieces. The Redditor says his sister was alone in her room around 3 a.m. However, beyond the desk, a shadow figure clearly manifests on the wall, appearing for a moment before vanishing into the darkness of the hallway. The Redditor claims that his sister has been waking up with marks ever since. Did she remove a cursed artifact from the property? And is this shadow person somehow possessing these cursed objects?
Never, and I mean absolutely never, take any object out of a paranormal place, because spirits will attach themselves to that object and then come home with you. And then things like this are gonna happen. I bet you if she didn't bring those objects home, she would have never experienced any paranormal activity. But clearly she brought home way more than just a couple of objects. She brought home an entire entity. I think what she needs to do is completely get rid of those objects, probably bring them back to exactly where she took them from, and then find a way to cleanse her entire house. Hopefully that solves the problem.
After experiencing paranormal events in his family home, this man decided to take some video to see if he could capture anything on camera. Let's take the haunted tour.
Oh hi! Would you like a free gift? I'm a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and this is the Book of Mormon. It teaches us more about Jesus Christ. The Book of Mormon has changed my life for good, and I know it can do the same for you. As you can see, we've got a lot of different copies in a lot of different languages, and we'd love to give you one for free. If you would like a free copy of the Book of Mormon, click on the link down below to have missionaries like me deliver one to your home with a short message about Jesus Christ. Bye!
If you are stuck for stocking filler ideas, then you're going to want to watch this TeamU haul. I have got loads of ideas in here for you, and all of these bits are for my 2-year-old boy. So let's get into it. I'm so excited.
What is happening here? He finds a flower on the stairs. He claims no one in the household knows where it came from. Is this knock a warning, as the YouTuber believes? Well, upstairs in the bedroom, it happens again.
Oh man. You think you go over there?
Something just threw the clothes from the wardrobe. If those knocks were a warning, I'd take the clothes as a clear message.
Yeah, it looks like the ghost wants you to pack it up and get out of there. And honestly, after hearing all that, I don't know why you wouldn't want to get the hell out. Clearly, there's crazy noises coming from all over the house. Not to mention that really random flower in the middle of the stairs. It definitely looks like somebody is trying to send him a message. And the message is probably, get the hell out of here.
Posted by Omni King Arceus2 to the Chills Narrator subreddit. The uploader claims this video may be proof of the existence of banshees. Dressed in long green dresses under gray cloaks with long hair and red eyes from constant crying, banshees appear or are heard by those whose family members or acquaintances have passed. The banshee's cry is described as mournful beyond all other sounds on earth, and when heard in the silent night, it is said to predict the passing of someone close to the listener, or may even be a warning of the person's own forthcoming passing. This clip shows an Irish woman named Nicole walking from a shrieking sound outside her home. For some reason, she decides to head out into the darkness to investigate. While outside, she pauses for a moment to listen, and the haunting wailing is heard again.
I'm gonna be honest, I have never heard screaming like that in my entire life. It absolutely does not sound like a human being, and it doesn't sound like any animal I've heard. Something about the noise is definitely really unnerving. I cannot imagine hearing it when you're all alone. It must be absolutely terrifying.
As she continues wandering in the darkness, she addresses whatever creature is making the noise, saying she's not there to hurt it, but to help it. Not long after, there's a shape in the darkness. You can hardly make it out, but it appears like a robed figure. Again, the shrieking noise is heard. The frightened young woman turns to hurry back inside. In the extended version of the video, the woman explains what happened after she returned home. She said when she arrived at the back door, it was locked. She went to another back door and there was a comb on her desktop. She says she doesn't use combs. She wonders if ghosts groom themselves. What is going on here? Angela Elliott added that if you hear the banshee, then an acquaintance will pass away, and if you see one, then you will. As a matter of fact, in the clip, Nicole gets a phone call telling her that a schoolmate was found passed away.
Okay, so that's actually really freaking sad. It looks like when you see this creature, it's supposed to mean that you are going to suffer a loss, or you may even be next. So clearly this is not a creature that you ever want to run into, but unfortunately it looks like this girl did. That robed figure in the middle of the darkness looked absolutely terrifying, and then coming back to see that your door was locked, clearly something paranormal is definitely going on here.
While investigating the Hinsdale house, YouTuber Mo Sargi summoned the weeping woman, and he lived to regret it. While speaking through a spirit box, he received some answers.
Was there actually an exorcism here? Oh my, that was a yes.
In like an evil, like it was mad.
But the interview is cut short.
Was it a priest? Behind you! What? Behind you! Something just f***ing appeared behind you! Something just f***ing appeared behind you!
What?
Like a f***ing mist, like a holy god! Holy f***.
I don't blame him. I'd be done too if I'd just seen La Llorona in the flesh.
So I guess the guys saw something appear behind the cameraman. Unfortunately, we don't really get to see what it is, but he definitely looked really terrified. So clearly he saw something. When you're talking to spirits about exorcisms, you're definitely gonna experience some crazy stuff. But alright you guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Definitely let me know in the comments comments which of these clips made you the most terrified. I have to say that clip of that abandoned house where somebody was staring at them through the window absolutely left me so terrified. I don't really know what it was about it, but it was just insanely scary. Definitely makes me never want to approach an abandoned house. And honestly, I was never even planning to. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi my beautiful people, it's your girl Yana, and I'm back today with yet another video. I'm so excited because today we're going to be diving into another set of absolutely terrifying videos that are bound to give you nightmares. So if you guys are ready, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. Did you see the way the wheel just flew right off that plane? That did not seem like a smooth landing whatsoever.
A rough landing in Buckland, Alaska becomes even scarier when you learn all of the things the pilot said. The fact that anyone is alive is a miracle. They were trying to keep the plane from sharply veering to the right and colliding with everyone below. The plane's steering was off and nobody knew to get out of the way, and it's not like planes have horns or anything, so there was no way to tell them that they were in the way, while everyone on the ground was folding their arms and waiting. The pilot was freaking out and applying a maneuver called asymmetric reverse thrust. Basically, he reversed the engines to change the trajectory of the landing. It cost him a wheel but spared others their lives. So the lesson of this scary video is to assume the worst and give planes plenty of room to land. Situations like this don't always have happy endings.
I mean, shout out to that pilot for being able to pull that off. He quite literally saved a bunch of lives. I will say though, those people on the ground just recording it did seem a little too casual. If I saw a plane landing that close to me, I would be running in the opposite direction, not standing there and recording it. Luckily though, nobody got hurt. Definitely an absolutely terrifying situation though.
A scary video from Albany looks like creepy things are about to happen at night, but when Mike Lice takes the camera to the window, you can see a big problem. It's the middle of the day, possibly the last for him and his family, as a terrible change looms in the sky. What happens next haunts them forever. At 9:16, a tree almost connects with the side of their house. The only thing that saved them were winds blowing slightly away from their home.
Natural disasters are absolutely horrifying. Mother Nature is powerful and she's gonna do whatever the hell she wants to do. That tree came very close to knocking that house down. Clearly there's some sort of extreme storm or hurricane and it's literally ripping apart everything in its path.
When so much scary stuff happens to you at once, there really is only one reaction. I'm sure they were expecting to capture some scary moments on camera, but nothing like this. Almost losing your home, whether you actually did in the end or not, is one of the scariest things imaginable.
They are very lucky to have come out of this safe. Clearly the lady in the house was extremely distraught, and I mean, you really can't blame her. She almost saw her entire house get blown away to smithereens. And unfortunately, in these situations, there's really not much you can do other than make sure that you're in a safe place.
A strange and mysterious object is found in the woods by a YouTuber named Grant and has his whole group of friends startled by what's inside. Wrapped in tape and caught in the bushes is a creepy red color, faded from being out here so long. They pull at the tape and 3 minutes later, they are finally ready to reveal the revolting contents inside.
Hold on, open it up for a minute. I gotta record it.
Look at in there. What is that? What is it?
I don't know.
Clearly, whatever it is, it doesn't smell that great because they're all gagging. It is very brave of them to open up a random cooler on the side of the road. It seems like a very sketchy, very risky thing to do. For all you know, it could be an actual crime scene.
Gray floating chunks rise to the top of the gelatinous pile, an unknown mystery sludge that blows them back with a rotten stench on a windless day. They run away from it more than once. Things get weirder as a frightening conclusion creeps over them.
Like, this is like somebody's body. You like somebody's body?
I don't know. I'm holding my breath every time I go over there.
Cause it's kind of sketch, bro. Like it with duct tape.
I'm calling 911.
Don't call the emergency one.
Someone is leaving this weird thing in the forest, one of the scariest finds of their life, and whoever it is has a lot of duct tape. There is a lake nearby, so I hope it's a fishing cooler full of improperly disposed bait and not what they fear it is. We never get an answer to this unexplained video, so tell me what you think this mystery substance was that made them call 911.
I'm actually very happy that they ended up calling just to make sure it's not anything crazy. It is highly possible that it's just a bunch of fishing bait that was left to rot. But again, with these things, you'd rather be safe than sorry. I bet you this freaking traumatized them.
In the food service industry, there's a big difference between wrong orders and orders that have gone wrong. This was taken at a fast food restaurant in Oklahoma, and let me tell you something. I doubt this is the first time this little guy and all of his friends have ever gone scampering across all of the buns, and if it's happened to one location, chances are it's happened to many. This leaked video was posted by an employee after the manager acted like this was not a big deal. I commend her for probably losing her job to make sure none of us were served this food. With that said, there's still way too many people who were served a mouse bun before anyone noticed.
I'm sorry, I cannot believe the manager didn't think this was a big deal. Babe, this is a ginormous deal. You have freaking mice living in your hamburger buns that you are then serving to customers? That is absolutely vile. It really makes me never want to eat out ever again. I don't know why, but seeing that literally gave me full body chills.
Some rather unexplained paranormal activity was caught on video when a ghost hunter by the name of Tracy puts their camera on the floor of a haunted house, one of the many haunted places in an unnamed ghost town they're exploring all alone. Soon, strange noises are heard as a shadow figure slowly plays against the wall. This might be an actual shadow figure, or someone walking across the window to create the appearance of one. The noises make sound like they could be special effects played from a speaker.
That shadow figure was clear as day. Usually in these videos, they're pretty hard to catch, but this one is indisputable. There is a shadow figure walking across the room. I'm not sure if the audio is edited in, or even if the shadow itself is some sort of special effect, but it looked pretty legit to me. Also, the way that it was moving around really slowly made it way more creepy. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Is this some genuine paranormal activity caught on camera?
A door closing by itself is another classic sign of a ghost haunting the place, and it doesn't always have to be a ghost slamming the door. A gentle closing is oftentimes twice as scary.
If you're out there, please shut this door one more time. That's all I'm asking. Just me. Oh my. Okay, I'm getting seriously freaked out right now.
The person who captured the paranormal activity says they were home alone when the door shut by itself a few times.
I'm so impressed by how calm he's being. If I saw a door close by itself with my own two eyes, I think I would lose my freaking mind. Not to mention he's literally talking to whatever ghost is doing this. That is some bravery.
I don't believe that just I didn't think I'd get anything. Well, I'm definitely going to be filming this area more.
He says a ghost slammed it shut in the past, but this time it shut it gently. Afterwards, he investigates the door to show us there's nobody standing on the other side because there's no room. It's apparently a haunted staircase, presumably leading to the attic. He says there are no open windows behind him, which was my guess. At 1 minute, you can see no string around the interior knob, which was my other guess. Freaky, right?
I definitely was thinking there could have been a string tied around the doorknob and someone was pulling it closed, but clearly we can see there are no strings and absolutely no one seems to be on the other side of that door. So how do you explain this? I really don't think you can.
Spirits seem to love to announce their presence by turning the lights on and off. Before we had flashlights, it was oil lanterns and candles. The scary phenomenon continues in a haunted house in South Wales when a spirit is told to show a sign. Startled, they investigate the incident by asking the ghost to communicate through this light. It's hard to tell from this creepy video if the flickering is a faulty wire or paranormal activity. A strange grin across his face at 1 minute and 47 seconds is a difficult response to read.
This could definitely just be a faulty wire or something a little bit wrong with the light. However, I don't know how to explain the fact that they asked it to flicker the light and that's when it started flickering. And I will say his grin is definitely bizarre because personally, if I saw that, I would not be smiling. It just doesn't really strike me as something to smile about.
A lot of scary ghost sightings involve a doorway or a window. They always seem to be haunting a passageway leading into the house. At 31 seconds, a pale apparition leans in to peek through the doorway of this building. Then the mysterious figure is gone, disappeared. I couldn't find anything to explain what was moving in the door. The ghost hunter later explains, after doing some more research, he says this haunted place is home to voices of children laughing and playing, stories that further creep him out. This building was a funeral home before the haunted place was abandoned. The cameraman is too scared to get near the haunted place, let alone go exploring.
I do feel like it's pretty hard to tell from such a far distance what it is. However, the fact that this used to be a funeral home definitely makes me think it could still be very haunted. I mean, if anything is gonna be haunted, it's probably gonna be a funeral home, right?
I know. Look, that's actually so creepy, dude. There's a guy right there, and I'm kind of freaked out, not gonna lie.
Blake Gray fears he's captured, something that would terrify all of us behind the dumpster of an abandoned building while exploring. His brave friend slowly creeps up.
He started moving.
So obviously this was a skit that was pre-planned, right? Wrong. Let's analyze what they were wearing on the day they captured this mysterious figure. Ripped jeans, skinny jeans, blue jean shorts. The mysterious stranger is wearing khakis. So yeah, this creepy event is scary and most importantly could be real. The person is still alive, but to what degree is unknown. A twitch of the leg could mean asleep or barely alive. If this is real, then I hope they notified the proper authorities to come make sure whoever this is still alive.
Yeah, I really hope they called somebody for help, and I hope they checked if that guy is okay. Initially, my mind went to the worst possible scenario, but then when they walked up to him and he twitched his leg, I was like, alright, this guy's alive. He's probably just taking a nap. I do know some people like to crash in abandoned places because usually no one's gonna come along to bother them. Clearly not in this case though. It is a very brave of these guys to go into that abandoned place and then approach someone who they see in there. But hey, it looks like everything turned out fine.
Two men have a scared reaction at what's captured on surveillance video. A tall figure approaches the gate. The gate does not open by itself, but the mysterious figure, the ghost of a man, appears to go through it. Shaken by fear, the two try to explain what's been caught on camera. They both seem to know a ghost sighting in real life is the only real answer. Getting scared is definitely the right reaction upon seeing something like this on video.
This clip is literally mind-boggling. We see this person approach the gate, and then instead of opening the gate to go through it, they literally go through the closed gate. How does that make any sense? I mean, that has to be a ghost, right? Unless it is some sort of weird camera glitch where it completely cut out the gate opening, which I don't really even know if that's possible. However, as the guy approaches the camera, he doesn't really look like a ghost. He genuinely just seems like a regular guy walking down the street. But then again, ghosts can look like regular people. So I don't know, you guys. This is definitely a tough one. Definitely let me know what you think. Is this a ghost or just a regular guy?
This is said to be a real ghost video from Singapore. A woman jogs down the road when she has a creepy encounter with a stranger who may or may not be paranormal. She doesn't hear any footsteps until he is running away. It's like he was never behind, and when she looks to where he just was, he's gone. Then he passes again and things get even scarier. You could pass somebody twice like this if you ran a wide loop around them, but why he would do this and scare her is something I doubt we could ever explain. I don't think this is paranormal, but I do think acting this way is not normal. I think it's most likely a short film, but there are no credits, and it presents itself as a real ghost video caught on camera in the description.
When I tell you, if this happened to me, I would actually pass out in fear. The speed at which he ran backwards towards her, absolutely freaking terrifying. This video definitely seems a little familiar to me. I'm not sure if I've seen it before or I've seen videos similar to this one, but nonetheless, it is so freaking scary. How does he literally disappear right as she turns back around and then reappears only to freaking chase her?
A man believes the stairwell in his apartment is haunted by a creature that's not paranormal, but not human. He thinks he sees movement and says this is a still image. The image has gone viral, so I wanted to analyze the video. The video does not look nearly as convincing as the image, which is often the case because it is harder to animate than Photoshop. The figure shows a convincing lack of realistic movement as it dips back into the darkened doorway from where it came. So if you've ever seen this popular picture and were wondering what the accompanying video looked like, now you know.
The video looks absolutely nothing like the picture, and I don't know if that means that he edited the picture or that even the video itself might be fake. Nonetheless, I do definitely see someone peeking around the corner and then quickly going back in. So something is definitely there. We just don't really know what it is. And I'm not really sure I want to know what it is. But alright, you guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Definitely let me know in the comments which one of these videos freaked you out the most. Out of all of these, I have to say the incident with the man walking through the closed gate was definitely the most bizarre to me, because it literally makes no sense in my head. How do you walk through a closed gate unless you're a freaking ghost? I don't know, something about that video is just not adding up. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi my beautiful people, it's it's your girl Yana, and I'm back today with yet another video. And today, you and I are going to be taking a look at a bunch of videos that are guaranteed to give you full body chills. And I am not joking, guys, when I tell you these videos are really freaking scary. So if you're ready, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it.
A stranger in Phoenix, Arizona waits outside patiently for someone to leave so that he can gain access to an apartment complex he does not live in. He soon targets a random woman and follows her onto an elevator, getting off on the same floor. Moments later, he is running from her unseen friends after allegedly trying to advance upon her in the hall. He switches into a new pair of clothes on the way down so that police won't be able to track him based on what witnesses said he was wearing. Little does he know that a camera is watching his every move, including his new outfit. He gets away this time and probably will try to do something like this again. He seems well practiced and probably sees this as a game instead of thinking about the psychological damage he caused that night and how that poor woman must feel after going through something like this.
I mean, this guy is a full-blown criminal. Thank God that girl had some friends over so that they were able to chase that creep away. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened. Clearly, this guy is capable of some really messed up stuff if he was ready to break into someone's apartment complex and then follow them up to their actual apartment. Not to mention, he was wearing a t-shirt underneath so he could quickly take off what he was wearing and change the way he looked, which only tells me that he was planning to do this. I really hope they catch this guy because that is so freaking messed up.
Look at him.
This is a really humorous and random situation, but let's face it, if a wild seabird were to land on you, I don't think many of us would be able to take it with a smile like this brave cameraman does. He makes no sudden movements, not wanting to attract the bird's hungry gaze or its beak to his fingers. Believe it or not, I looked up pelican-human encounters and found out that the sides of its beak are razor sharp, so this situation could have actually gone wrong quick. I don't know whether this pelican wanted to take some of his fingers or take a rest, but it seems to realize it's outnumbered and takes off.
I'll be honest with you guys, if this happened to me, I would be so freaking scared. I'm not a big fan of birds as it is. I don't know why, they just really scare me. Not to mention a bird this size with a beak that literally looks ginormous. Yeah, I would definitely start freaking the hell out. I am so impressed by how calm he was being. He was even smiling. To be fair, I don't really know how badly the seagull could have hurt him, but I also don't want to find out.
A ghost hunting crew named Full Moon Inc. Paranormal Investigators are certain they've caught some paranormal activity surrounding a cursed mirror recently purchased at a yard sale. Here's their evidence. A ghost does seem to unclasp the lock. The only way to fake this is with a string, which would be fairly easy to detect at close range, especially against the dark wood. Within a month, the ghost seems to have spread from the haunted mirror and into the kids' room. The Full Moon Inc. investigators are shocked to see a stuffed animal moving on its own. They suspect the toy is haunted by a ghost trying to play with them. The toy on top barely moves. Was the object moved by a ghost or by one of the paranormal investigators hiding behind?
The bear one, definitely creepy. However, for a ghost to fully unlock a closet, I don't know. I'm not saying it couldn't have happened. I'm just saying the chances are very slim.
The Old South Pittsburgh Hospital in Tennessee is one of the most haunted hospitals on Earth. So much so that it's been officially designated as a paranormal research center on Google. Almost everyone that goes there has a paranormal experience. Take a YouTube channel called Lost Souls Paranormal, for example. One of the few research teams brave enough to go exploring the haunted hospital's basement. An investigator named Bailey splits from the group, and this is what he records underground.
Fingerlings love me, fingerlings need me. New fingerlings care and cuddles. It's a cute
from the group, and this is what he records underground. Running footsteps are coming from all directions, and are possibly even in the same room that he is. Suddenly, the idea of ghost hunting isn't as fun as it was 5 minutes ago, and so he doesn't go any further.
I'm very glad he didn't go any further because those footsteps were clear as day. It actually sounded like somebody was in the room with him, and obviously no one was there, so how the hell do you explain that? Other than the fact that this entire place is haunted, which I do not doubt whatsoever, considering it's literally an abandoned hospital. I bet you that place is full of ghosts.
This is enough paranormal evidence to convince me, but let me know if you think it was his friends making the noise. Years prior, another paranormal investigator named L.W. Drums was close to the same spot of the hospital and experienced strange ghost activity as well.
Come on now, you're being really boring with us.
The voice of somebody who isn't there mocks the investigator with an exaggerated sigh, and a shadow appears at around this time too.
Come on now, you're being really boring with us. Something just touched my head. Ooh.
I cannot imagine being in a haunted hospital and fully feeling something touching your head. I have a feeling they might have pissed the ghost off a little bit when they were taunting it, saying that it was being boring. I bet you the ghost was like, oh yeah, I'm boring. I'll show you some paranormal activity. As for the shadow, I'm not too sure. I feel like that could have just been a part of their crew that walked in front of a light and it cast a shadow that looked like it might have been something paranormal. But again, we don't really have a way of proving that.
Something jabs him from behind. When he turns around, the mysterious camera goes out of focus like something is right up on the lens, and I don't know if this is a third member of the team, but at 29 seconds a mysterious figure is definitely just sitting on the other side of the room staring at them.
I'm almost 100% positive that that is a member of the crew. He seems to just be sitting and hanging out, and I feel like if it wasn't a part of their crew, they definitely would have said something and been like, yo, who the freaking hell is that?
Chris Hopkins goes exploring a haunted mental asylum close to 3 a.m. called Forest Haven. As the name implies, they have to cut through a forest on foot to get there, and that's when their troubles begin.
That was somebody.
Yeah. We're walking down the trail. We just heard someone right over there.
Chris turns on his flashlight and soon sees a mysterious light in return. They play flashlight tag for a while until they discover a group of other people who, while friendly, claim to be ghost hunters on a quote-unquote another mission.
Yo, we just met up with these guys.
Hey.
Yo, these were some of the guys we were in here.
Actual ghost hunting, but we on another mission right now.
They don't think much of the comment and join together to go exploring the abandoned mental hospital. As they get to talking, the strangers kneel down and show what their special mission really is: to take copper from wires and sell it for money. They are around some shady people in an abandoned building who have sharp instruments and are looking for valuable equipment, like their expensive cameras. Thinking fast, Chris walks back to get his friends.
This definitely took an extremely sketchy turn. It looks like they ran into these other guys, and at first they seemed totally cool, but it turns out they are some shady characters. They are not out ghost hunting. They are out trying to steal metal from this abandoned hospital. I really think it might be best for these guys to just pack it up and leave, because at the end of the day, you're in an abandoned place with a bunch of people you don't know. Who freaking knows what could happen?
Dude, come out here and listen to all these birds. Listen to all these birds.
They don't say a word and awkwardly walk away, which is the right choice. Who knows what would have happened to them if they stayed around?
Actually, it was very smart of him to mention the birds, to get his friend to come out so he could low-key tell him they needed to get the hell away from them. Absolutely genius move on their end, because if these guys were up to no good, you wouldn't want to tip them off that you know that they're up to no good. Otherwise, that might piss them off. Thankfully, it looks like they got out of there and away from those shady guys.
A man is quietly fishing by himself, making content for his fishing channel called East Coast Fishing Adventures. completely unaware that he is being watched from afar. Partially concealed in the leaves is a person who is not with him and doesn't have a fishing rod. They just sit on a rock and don't move at all, just watching. The uploader gets the feeling that this is a ghost sighting, and it makes me wonder if he's sitting at the spot where somebody went under and sadly never resurfaced.
I'm not sure if that's a ghost sighting. I feel like more likely is just a really weird person staring at him. But considering he doesn't even have a fishing rod, it really makes you think why the hell he's even out there, especially dressed like that. I mean, clearly he's trying to blend in with his surroundings, and it's only making him look even more creepy. And also the fact that he wasn't moving at all. I don't know, there's just something so creepy about that.
A father and son are bonding outdoors when they make a discovery in a puddle that's so bizarre they have to bring it home and make a video of what they've caught on camera.
So I kind of looked at the little creatures that were in there, and at my first glance they're round and have a tail just like a tadpole.
The mysterious creatures have a long tail and two eyes that are especially visible at 1 minute and 22 seconds. Baby horseshoe crabs were my guess, but when I googled a picture it looked different. So what do you think they are?
How did they end up in a puddle? I don't know, that just feels like a really random place for them to be, especially if these guys aren't anywhere near a big body of water. Like, what did they just summon into existence? Let me know if you guys know what these creatures are, if they're some sort of fish or something. I personally am not very knowledgeable about fish, so I cannot tell. All I know is I would not go anywhere near those things.
A group of friends loudly proclaim their disbelief as a slow-moving object flies across Los Angeles.
Hey, it's from a different dimension.
It's from a different dimension, one of them jokes, but according to the uploader's own words, they felt a strange energy overwhelm them as the object passed overhead. The object is really large to be that size. From such a far distance away, it's too big to be a commercial airliner, not to mention perfectly round and solid black. They are able to track it for over 2 minutes as it grows smaller on the horizon, and just before they can no longer see a thing, it blinks out of existence in a mysterious flash of light. The odd sighting in the sky occurred on October 4th of 2020 and is yet to be properly explained. The uploader says this was from another world, and it looks like he might be right.
Okay, so this is actually a pretty recent recording. Initially, I thought it could have been a plane or a helicopter because there's actually a ton of helicopters constantly flying over LA. However, if it was a helicopter, I feel like there would be lights on it, and it seems like there's no lights until it's completely far in the distance. I don't really want to jump to a conclusion and say that it's a UFO or something crazy like that, because it probably isn't. It's probably like a really big drone or something like that. I do find it very bizarre though that there is not a single light on it, and I do wish the footage was a little clearer so we could see exactly what it looks like. I'd definitely be super confused if I ever saw something like that.
Jackal365 goes exploring his old creepy attic the day after hearing scary noises all night. 1 minute and 55 seconds is when something is caught moving on camera. He reaches the back of the attic and strains his eyes in the darkness to see it.
See anything?
A face drops down in front of the camera. Apparently the creature was hanging above him the whole time. He could have simply held a mannequin head upside down in front of the camera to create that effect, but his terrified squeal says otherwise.
Okay, that kid definitely sounded terrified. However, I do find it interesting that he starts screaming before he even turns around, almost as if he was expecting something to be there. So I don't know. I'm not saying this is fake, but all I'm saying is it's a bit bizarre. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think there was actually somebody hovering right above him, or is this just another skit? I will say, if it is a skit, his acting is really good, because the way he was screaming, he genuinely sounded horrified.
Junior Tour 1 helps his father move a table, and only when they put it down does he notice something he wishes he never caught on camera.
And we picked it up under here, and we carried it out, and when I flipped it over, guess what I discovered? And I stuck my hands under there.
From the view at 36 seconds, it's easy to see how the spider stayed hidden from view. The circled area is where the spider is, and also exactly where he grabbed the table to lift it. For better context, this is where his fingers were, and of course you already know where the spider is. He thinks this is a wolf spider, but someone else claims this to be a dark fishing spider. This is a fierce debate in the comments section of the video, so let's see if we can settle the issue here.
Listen, I do not know what kind of spider that is, nor do I care what kind of spider that is, because regardless, it is absolutely disgusting looking. Why the hell is it that damn big? If I was moving a table and I looked around and saw that my fingers were that close to whatever that monster is, I would actually be horrified.
Okay, there is actually no wind.
That's What's that noise?
Scary noises are coming from the end of a dark alleyway. Scary noises that sound more like a creature than a human.
Right, I don't want to go down. You've got night vision. You go down. How do you get the night vision? You just press the button on the side of the camera. That one.
Oh my. It's someone's telly? Pete, it's someone's telly.
He turns on the night vision just in time to catch the flash of two large eyes the size of dinner plates and maybe 7 or 8 feet from the ground. They call out into the darkness and are greeted by a snarling creature that is finally caught on video.
We want to find out.
First, the eyes are visible once more at 1 minute and 17 seconds, moments before it comes at them. And right before they drop the camera to run, there is a blur of a mysterious creature on all fours running them down.
At least it's not dog behind us now.
Okay, what the hell is that? The noises definitely sounded really scary. It sounded like some sort of monster or creature. Definitely didn't sound like an animal or a human being, that is for sure. However, I didn't really see the glowing eyes. I only saw one light shining, but again, it was just one light. It didn't look like eyes. And I actually didn't really catch a glimpse of whatever creature it was. So I don't know if it was just too dark or if there was nothing there to begin with. Regardless, those sounds are pretty difficult to explain because again, it definitely did not sound human whatsoever. So my question is, what the hell could that be?
This creepy picture has been freaking out the internet in recent months. A man in all white stands motionless on the other side of a fence in the forest, hands at his sides, and there's something about his eerie eyes, or lack thereof, that made people feel extra uneasy. I've been looking for a source of his picture because I've seen it featured on other channels, and I finally discovered where this photo is from. This is actually a still frame taken from a popular television series called Doctor Who. The character is called the Watcher. This photo is commonly shared in the Spanish-speaking Countdown community, and maybe those YouTubers aren't aware of the show, so if you've ever seen this photo on a different list, now you know where it's from.
Okay, so thank God it is not a real photo. I mean, it is real, but it's from a TV show, so no one actually came across that thing. Thank God, because it looks absolutely terrifying. The lack of facial features is really creepy as well. Definitely the type of picture that would come back to haunt you in your nightmares. But alright, you guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Let me know in the comments which one of these clips scared you the most. Honestly, I'm gonna say the first one was the scariest, where the guy followed the girl into the elevator and up to her apartment. Thank God somebody was there to chase him away. But out of all of these, this one is definitely the scariest because things like that happen, and it must have been an absolutely terrifying situation for the girl to be in. Again, I really hope they catch that guy because clearly he is seriously messed up and he needs to be locked away. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Growing a business today means playing by someone else's rules. Fees go up, expectations change.
And he needs to be locked away. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi my beautiful people, it's your girl Yana, and I'm back today with yet another video. And today's video is about to get really spooky because we're gonna be taking a look at some of the scariest things ever caught in tunnels. Now for me personally, when I think of a tunnel, I think of Pennywise, so I can only imagine how scary these are gonna be. If you guys are ready, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into it.
Published in December 2012, by Timothy L. Shabu, a group of kids decide to enter a sewer at night with nothing but flashlights to guide them.
Okay, right off the bat, that is a terrible idea. Like, you can't possibly be thinking anything good is about to happen.
They should have expected what came next. They crawl into the depths of the tunnel, waiting for the creature to make himself known, but when it does, you wish it hadn't.
Okay, that is definitely some sort of freaking demonic creature. Did y'all see the way it literally rushed towards them? That thing was ready to attack. And this, my friends, is why you don't go into tunnels at night. Who the hell knows what could be hiding in there? I honestly cannot blame them for just booking it straight out of there. I would do the exact same thing.
The figure springs towards the boys and all mayhem breaks loose as the entire group tries to scurry out of the tunnel at once. When they do finally break free of the tunnel and its creature, a sigh of relief washes over them. Many viewers of this video feel the same way. The Potato Llamas wrote, "Reminds me of when there's a spider hiding under a rock, and the second you lift it, it runs at you. But what was this thing crawling deep in the tunnel?" Some think it was a monkey, judging by the noises the creature made, others special effects.
It being a monkey doesn't really make any sense to me. I guess it could have been, but we have no way of confirming. Regardless, it is very scary running into something like this in the middle of the night in a tunnel. I'd be freaking terrified. At least they got away from whatever the hell was chasing them, because that thing looked violent.
Night Owl 2007 published this video of a creepy sewer creature in February of 2018. In the video, some guys are walking along the road at night when they stop at a big heavy manhole cover and proceed to enter into the sewer. They remember how scary the sewer is.
This to me genuinely seems like a terrible idea through and through. That sewer looks genuinely terrifying, and I'm not even scared of like anything being in there. I'm worried about one of them falling down or getting stuck in there. Can you even imagine how horrifying that would be? Like, all the scary paranormal stuff aside, this is actually incredibly dangerous to do. How are they so casually just opening up that sewer and going down? Are you not scared?
In order to see how deep one of the tunnels goes, the crew cracks a neon stick light and, turning off all other light sources, throws it into the tunnel. The tunnel must be deep, but the depths do terminate, as you can still see a tiny pinprick of light in the distance. As they're playing around with the neon sticks, the camera catches a skull-like face peeking over one of the crew's shoulders.
I don't think you're throwing out enough light here.
What do you think?
What the
It looks like a ghoulish mask leering behind him, but when the guy moves out of the way and the cameraman casts his camera beyond, there's nothing there. Needless to say, the entire crew springs into action, racing out of that sewer like no one's business. There is a roaring sound at the end, echoing as they jet out of the tunnel. We can assume they made it out alive, otherwise we wouldn't have this video to show for it.
Whatever was behind him looked really scary, and the way that it was looking over his shoulder, I mean, it's literally like straight out of a freaking horror movie. I am so glad they got out of there okay, and I'm hoping whatever the hell that was stayed in that tunnel.
This video of urban exploration, published by Backyard Exploration in January 2015, is particularly eerie, because what's scarier than dark, damp tunnels and nowhere to turn? In the video description, Backyard Exploration writes, "As the city grew, much of the underworld was sealed and forgotten. We infiltrate the sewers in search for this lost history. Unlike many entries on this list, these guys mean business. They are decked out with gear, headlamps, ropes, and safety equipment for sewer exploration, and they will need it. The underground is a dangerous place, and if you're claustrophobic, the tight spaces might give you screaming anxiety. Even worse, if you're squeamish, you might want to sit this one out, as there's loads of wading through raw sewage."
I am very happy to hear that they have a bunch of safety equipment. It looks to me like these guys know exactly what the hell they're getting themselves into. Now, I didn't even really like think of this before, but when these people are going through these sewage tunnels, there is going to be sewage. Is that not so freaking disgusting? Sewage tunnel exploration is not for the weak. I can't even begin to imagine the smell down there. It is probably extremely horrendous.
Along with the sewer rats that scurry across the ground and up the walls, water trickles down from above as the team continues to trapeze through the dark tunnels. The team crawls and climbs through narrow channels to make sure no stone is left unturned, and at one point they even walk waist deep in sewage water, which is sometimes calm, sometimes rushing. In some areas, there are massive amounts of cockroaches skittering across the ceiling of the tunnel. All in all, it's pretty much every phobia imaginable in one.
It's basically every horrifying thing ever put into one place. You're claustrophobic, you're in the dark, you're knee deep in sewage water, and you look above you and there's a freaking cockroaches. You would never catch me dead in one of these sewage tunnels.
Fortunately, this nightmare does come to an end. As the video concludes, they exit the sewage tunnel to breathe fresher air and see daylight again.
So it looks like nothing crazy and out of pocket happened to them, other than them, you know, being in an absolutely wild environment. And honestly, nothing paranormal even needed to happen for this to be scary, because let me tell you, babe, that environment is scary on its own.
Published in October of 2011, the YouTuber wrote in the video description, "I found where the creature has been hiding, along with my dead cat. What creature?" While searching his property, the original uploader found a sewer or a drainage pipe, which is where the video begins. As he's walking towards the drain, he only brought his camera and a knife. What does he need a knife for? We'll soon find out. He enters the tunnel, and you can't see much inside apart from his bright headlights on the walls. But then again, as the light shines ahead deeper into the tunnel, he seems to catch a brief glimpse of a creature standing there, two bright eyes gleaming in the darkness. He races out of the tunnel. He explains that his camera died as he was hurrying home, the sewer being a quarter-mile deep in the forest.
Is it just me, or was that thing on all fours basically crawling, staring straight at him? Also, the glowing eyes. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not.
He decides to head back the next day to explore the tunnel again, in the hopes of capturing the creature face to face. This time he enters the tunnel through the opposite side, where the stream is coming out. Inside he finds the skull of his cat. He also finds what he believes to be the creature's nest.
That's my cat. That's my cat.
I
think I just found this place as a nest.
So what do you think? Is this creature indeed alien or some other known life form?
I find it very interesting that this creature has a nest, and within that nest is this guy's cat, apparently. That's pretty freaking crazy. So either that cat wandered down there, or whatever that creature is literally grabbed the cat and dragged it down there. Like, that's insane.
Papa Jake is returning to a haunted sewer tunnel that he explored once before. But this time it's 3 a.m. He and his friends think that a large sewer creature might be down there, so they bring a lot of extra equipment, like motion sensors and night vision, to capture it on video. Their first encounter happens not in the tunnel itself, but rather in the surrounding woods.
Something's in the nest! Something's in the nest! Something is in the nest!
What appears to be some type of humanoid creature scampers across the forest floor on all fours. Only one of the two friends see it, so I guess he manages to convince himself that it was nothing, and they continue to press on.
I'm sorry, that was not nothing. That was literally some sort of creature crawling on all fours. How the hell do you explain that? Honestly, that would be enough for me to wrap it up, pack up all my equipment, and get the hell out of there. So for these guys to continue on, I have to say is very brave.
A short while later, they finally locate the tunnel. They are very deep inside when a strange and haunting moan convinces them to get out of there fast.
What was that?
The noise is coming from the same direction they just came from, so Papa Jake and his friend try to outrun the creature at a fast pace. taking blind turn after blind turn for a full 5 minutes. It isn't long before they find themselves wandering down an oversized pipe, completely lost. Whatever is chasing them, on the other hand, apparently knows every last twist and turn of this labyrinthian cesspit and finds them quickly. At this point, they all stopped recording to run for their lives. Papa Jake now feels he has sufficient evidence of the rake, and I doubt he will ever go back there.
I mean, I really do not blame him for never wanting to go down there ever again, because whoever is in those tunnels is an absolute lunatic, and the fact that it fully chased them all the way through the tunnel until they got out. Can you even imagine being chased by this thing? How freaking traumatizing.
The Drakelow tunnels in the United Kingdom was a classified nuclear bunker that mysteriously closed down from 1993. Almost no records of this place exist, but 3 men were once buried alive in a tunnel collapse. Shadow people are said to have been seen here ever since, and the Ouija brothers do capture some strange activity on camera, like this pitch black anomaly at 8 minutes and 45 seconds for example. Is this a black spirit orb, or just a wall stain?
Walk towards my voice.
No, that is definitely someone walking behind him. It's absolutely not a wall stain because you can clearly see it moving. So that is definitely really scary, especially when you consider the history of this place and that multiple people were quite literally buried alive. This place is bound to be haunted.
And a minute earlier, they catch this passing white apparition against the wall.
Could you make yourself known?
The timing of the appearance in relation to the question is quite abnormal, but is it paranormal?
The fact that it appeared as soon as he asked that question is definitely creepy, but I do think it's a little less believable than the first one. Maybe it's just some sort of reflection from the light or the camera, who knows? Or it really could be a spirit. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Something sketchy is definitely going on in that building, that is for sure.
This entry involves a series of videos revealing a web of industrial-looking tunnels that weave beneath the campus of Northern Arizona University. The uploader states that in October of 2018, he only reached the bottom of the stairs but recently decided to venture further. In close Granddad writes, NAU was almost established as an insane asylum back in the mid-1890s, and rumor has it that these tunnels would have been part of that. He shares a link, which notes that the building was first built as a reform school for Arizona's so-called vicious youth. It's unclear why it remained empty for years upon completion. That's when, as Granddad mentioned, an insane asylum was proposed by the territorial legislature. For some reason, that wasn't followed through either. What isn't made clear is this short historical literature is when the tunnels were built and for what purpose.
Those tunnels look like the freaking back rooms. I don't understand why anybody would voluntarily go down there because it is so freaking spooky.
The recorder guides us through the dark tunnels, writing, I came across pathways that I could have potentially crawled, shimmied through, but chose not to because 1. They seemed a bit dangerously cramped at points, and 2, I didn't want to spend too much time down there.
Clearly there's access to these tunnels, so it goes to show they're meant to be used. But the question is, for what?
Posted by Wet Tent YT to the Chills Narrator subreddit and originally published to YouTube in September of 2020, this is an urban exploring adventure turned into a nightmare. The uploader explains that this is a follow-up to a recent video he posted. He came across several times.
From sporting drama to blockbuster action. For just £35 a month.
He came across several tunnels after leaving an abandoned garage, and in these tunnels he encountered a figure he'd seen at the last location. These videos were filmed within hours of each other and showcase a strange person or figure that followed me while exploring. If you looked closely, it seemed to have an axe, and its eyes also looked like they were sort of glowing. In the video, after wandering down a tunnel, the uploader hears something. He sets his camera down on the ground in the tunnel facing the exit. That's when the aforementioned figure is captured, pounding on the roof of the tunnel with what appears to be an axe.
What the hell does that guy think he's doing? He's either trying to scare this guy away or he's an actual lunatic. Either way, it is enough reason to get the hell out of there. That parking garage also did look like the back rooms. It literally looked like it went on forever.
Meanwhile, the uploader races down the adjacent tunnel, and when the Axeman leaves, retrieves his camera from the ground and races back towards where the Axeman exited, shouting, "Who are you?" No response.
I don't really think I would like a response from that guy. What I would really want is him to get the hell away from me.
A YouTuber named The Legends TV is exploring a tunnel at 3 a.m. when he comes across a stenciled message on the wall. It's a rant about someone who doesn't want to take their medicine or live in a hospital anymore, perhaps made by someone who escaped an institution and now lives down here. To further support this theory, they find a lone baby doll laying in the dirty water, and tucked under the doll's arm is a steel blade. For all I know, this could be a trap set by someone who is not right in the head.
Oh, I can promise you whoever put that there is not right in the head. I would definitely take that as a sign to get the hell out of there, because they're probably about to run into a very crazy, very unstable person who is literally hiding in a freaking tunnel. That doesn't really sound like it's gonna go very well, does it?
An urban exploration channel called Urbex with Taffy goes investigating an underground bunker when they start to feel incredibly watched for no reason at all. They pause at the entrance to a dark room and, night vision rolling, call out to any haunting the tunnels with them.
Okay, alright, so is there anyone in here with us? Would you make a sound? Just make a noise?
In the doorway is a shadow person who is not Taffy nor his friend, Carl. As you can see both of their shadows. It's weird that a third shadow appears as soon as they ask for a sign, but this wouldn't be too hard to fake with a third person's help. The question is whether or not it was really the two of them down there in the creepy haunted tunnel.
There definitely could have been a third person down there with them, but we don't really have a way of confirming that, so we're never gonna really know. It's the moment that they asked for a sign that the spirit in the background appeared. So either a spirit is genuinely there and willing to communicate with them, or it's just one of their buddies playing a prank.
A group of friends see a stranger leave the woods in a hurry. They think it's odd and make a video.
Andy caught someone coming out of the tunnel. Pretty creepy, pretty scary, so...
Oh bro, what's that smell?
Oh, it's rank.
Can you smell that? Guys, there's literally flies all over the place. Oh bro, can you smell that? That stinks, bro.
Oh, nasty, man.
In the tunnel, they find a white sheet covered in red with a very distinct human outline underneath, and this is their reaction.
That stinks. Man, that was grim.
Hey, we're seeing a body right now.
We need to ring the police.
As crazy as anything.
Having this happen would be really scary.
We need to ring the police.
What?
We need to ring the police.
Have you got a phone?
Nah, I've not got a phone. Have you got one? Hey, can I have police, please?
Then bother looking cook. Phone out door.
1 minute you're hanging out with your friends, and the next moment you're all suspects.
Yeah, I've just found, just been exploring with me, and we just found a body.
Oh my goodness, I'm really glad that they called the police. Clearly, they came across something extremely concerning. That must have been absolutely traumatizing for these guys to come across. It looks like they were literally just trying to explore a tunnel, and it just went horribly wrong for them. But alright, you guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Let me know in the comments which one of these clips scared you the most. I will say the scariest one to me was the one where the guy was walking around with a freaking axe, because to me it didn't really give me a paranormal vibe. I think it was literally just a crazy person chasing this guy, which to me is 10 times scarier than any ghost. So I'm very glad that guy got out of there okay. I really hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi my beautiful people. people, it's your girl Yana, and I'm back today with yet another video. We're gonna be taking a look at a ton of really spooky videos from all over the internet, so don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it.
This footage is terrifying to any cyclist on the road. Published in April of 2022, Cycling Mikey writes, "The footage was given to me by a subscriber who asked me to make the video available. In case anyone knows this man and is willing to give his details, he had videoed the driver using his mobile phone, and the driver took exception to that." Captured at around 10:30 p.m. in July of 2021, the footage shows a cyclist riding as fast as he can from the car in question. He is calling out to any passers-by to call the police.
Help me! Call the police! Call the police! Help me! Help me!
The car is clearly chasing him. It even drives up on the sidewalk at one point as the cyclist tries to escape. The cyclist luckily eventually loses the driver, pulls into a driveway and drops his bike to the ground.
What the hell is wrong with whoever is driving that car? Why would he even be chasing him? And not just chasing him, I mean, this guy literally started driving on the sidewalk and came incredibly close to hitting him. How freaking terrifying.
Commenters call this outrageous and criminal behavior, while at least one commenter was able to capture the license plate number. Was it enough to find the culprit, or does he have dodgy plates? Sadly, I was never able to find out.
Honestly, I really hope they found the guy because he needs to be held accountable. Clearly, he was after this guy trying to deliberately hurt him. That guy needs to be locked up.
Never in a million years should you cross this bridge. Posted to TikTok by Real Horror Talk, a man on a motorcycle enters onto a narrow wooden bridge crossing a wide and fast-moving river. There are no railings. Let's watch. As he rides steadily across, he looks to his right and then to his left. The water is flowing rapidly past. He continues on as if he does this every day, and maybe he does.
There is literally no railings on that bridge, and he is just so casually driving over it. Absolutely insane. Clearly, this guy is very experienced with motorcycles, so I'm assuming he knows what he's doing to be crossing a bridge like that.
Published by Mark Hayes in October of 2014, the mythical creature surfaces in this scary video. The footage shows something large adrift in the middle of Loch Ness. The enormous creature breaks the surface with its eel-like body. It weaves around the lake, coming closer and closer toward the camera. Birds fly down, appearing to land on its back for a moment before flying off again. The creature's body even seems to curve up out of the water. Skeptics in the comments have me questioning things. Some commenters say it moves too rigidly and mechanically, and is more likely to be an underwater cable or a water dredge system utilizing a hose. Others think it could be an animal, not a monster. With Sue Copening writing, "Recently they have found eel DNA in the lochs in great numbers. Nessie could simply be members of a large species of eel, or perhaps eels. Is that all Nessie is? A gigantic eel?"
I personally do not think this is the Loch Ness Monster. As much as it does kind of look like it, I do think it's some sort of underwater cable that is resurfacing for whatever reason. And so it looks like it is something just swimming through the water. I guess it could also potentially be a ginormous eel. However, I'm not too sure about that. It didn't really look like an eel to me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think this is footage of the Loch Ness Monster? Or is it just as innocent as an underwater pipe?
Is that a hula hoop? Posted to TikTok by Camilo Rodriguez, a dark ring looks like it's burnt into the sky above. The mysterious video was captured in Colombia on March 6, 2022. After searching for some explanation, I couldn't find any for this specific ring, but I have found that it's not unique. One appeared over Pakistan in 2020 and is thought to have been caused by a small combustion blast through a circular structure. Again, one in Britain in 2014. This was traced back to a fireworks test. And finally, over Chicago in 2012, this one traced to the rupture of an electrical transformer. So while this may look like an ominous vortex to misery, I guess it's actually an ominous vortex of mystery.
The shape is definitely pretty crazy, but because there were so many times in the past where we've seen this, and we know that it's usually due to some sort of explosion, it makes sense that this one as well would be caused by some sort of explosion or combustion or something like that. It does look like some sort of dark vortex or portal or something straight out of Harry Potter.
Published by Erwin Saunders, these pixies apparently turned up at an inconvenient time. Concealed in a portable toilet, Erwin's son is waiting in the thick forest, so he and Erwin can spy these little creatures. The little guys are springing around the moss-covered ground. One of them even climbs atop the portable toilet, while Erwin's son sits inside. Peering out the window, he sees this creature, which looks more like a goblin to me than a pixie.
I have seen a bunch of these videos before and I absolutely love them. They're just so freaking adorable to me, and there's something so whimsical about them. Not to mention the editing is absolutely top tier. I mean, these little goblins look so freaking real. I don't know, it's such a unique concept.
Eventually, the pixies leave, but not without throwing sticks at the tent.
They're throwing things at the tent.
Are these the pixies of your imagination, or are they their evil twin brothers? Either way, I'm gonna stay far away from that forest.
Are you kidding me? You're telling me you don't want to go in that forest and meet these adorable little goblins? That would literally be a dream come true. And it's so funny how they're throwing sticks at him as if that's gonna do anything. This video definitely makes me wish that fairies and goblins were real. And who knows, maybe they are.
There's more to this selfie than what meets the eye. Posted to TikTok, Dita and her friends pose for pictures, but someone else sneaks into the last shot. In the background, a girl is seen peering through a crack in the door. In other frames, she is not there, but then again she appears peeking around the corner. Is this just someone who wants to be included? Or is this a ghost? Phantom photobombing.
It looks like someone is peeking through the door, quite literally just staring at them while they take this picture. So it's either their friend that is trying to photobomb the picture, or it's an actual ghost photobombing them.
This bike rider is about to get ghosted. Published by Scary Desk in February of 2022. A man on a motorbike stops in the middle of the road, and he's looking down the street at something. A pedestrian also stops nearby, and he seems to be looking at the same thing, which so far is off screen. After the pedestrian leaves, we see this. A shadow figure walks determinedly at the dude on the motorbike. As he gets closer, he disappears for a moment, but the man deliberately pushes his bike over as if to make a blockade between them and then runs off. The shadow figure suddenly reappears, and he surprisingly runs off too in the opposite direction. What is going on with this confrontation? It looks like the shadow was as afraid of the encounter as these guys were.
Okay, my theory is that this is not a spirit whatsoever. I think this is one of those rare cases where there is something genuinely wrong with the camera. I think what's happening is that somebody approaches him trying to steal his motorcycle, and for whatever reason the camera is blurring them out so it looks like it's a ghost. However, considering both him and the passerby saw this person and he decided to just drop the bike and run away, I really do think it's just a failed robbery attempt. It's definitely very bizarre how the camera blurs him out, but I do think sometimes that just happens.
Can two separate security cameras glitch at once? Or is this The Matrix Revisited? Posted to the very spooky video subreddit, a woman in Colombia appears to have vanished, and her vanishing act was captured from two angles. From one angle, she is walking down the sidewalk. She pauses for a moment, then walks a bit more before suddenly zapping from view. A second video captures her at an angle from the front. Again, she walks forward before disappearing into thin air at the corner of the sidewalk. Did she just teleport to another dimension? Some in the comments think this was just CCTV taking photos every few seconds, which were sped up for viewing. That way the girl could have disappeared in the so-called vanishing act. Others think this girl obviously has the gift of invisibility. What do you think is going on here?
I personally do not think she has the gift of invisibility. However, it is very interesting that both of the cameras made a similar glitch, making it look like she disappeared. Potentially because it is a bunch of pictures taken and then put together to make a video, which would explain why in the first moment she's there and in the next she's not.
Captured at Hillview Manor in Newcastle, these paranormal explorers face their fears. Published by SCWC in October of 2019, the uploader calls this the scariest moment of their entire life. Although the video has no sound, the YouTuber says footsteps charged at them from down the hallway. The video shows their terrified reaction as they all look toward it. One of them even dives out of the way as the invisible spirit charges toward them. Noting that the footsteps ran between all of them, the uploader writes,
Pick up the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra from O2 and save up to £500 from under £50 a month on the network awarded Best Mobile Network Coverage by Uswitch. O2, essential for living.
Writes, the walls and floor shook with every footstep this spirit took while running. Well, you don't see anything run past. This group's synced reaction seems more than genuine. What was in the Hill House with them?
Their reactions are incredibly synced and really do seem genuine, so I do believe that they either heard or saw something that we could not hear or see on camera. I also find it so funny how the guy literally dove out of the way.
This night watchman should watch out for ghosts. Published by Ghost Fighter Live in April of 2022, the creepy video starts with someone in a hooded white robe walking across the roof. A security guard sleeps on a ramp below. Although the sleeping person is unaware of the robed figure, his movement seems to be disturbed by him. The robed figure then vanishes, and the sleeping man is woken by a noise in the yard. He gets up to investigate. Finding nothing, he lies back down to sleep, only for the robed figure to appear again. He disappears a second time on the roof, and another noise startles the sleeping guard awake. A third time, the guard lies down to sleep, and the robed figure reappears, this time getting closer to him. The figure seems to be controlling his movements, and suddenly the man is startled awake again. Carrying a large stick for protection, he searches for the figure, but he should have looked upwards.
I have so many questions. First of all, why is the security guard sleeping on the job? Second of all, who the hell is on that roof and what the hell are they doing? Because to me, this doesn't look like a ghost. It looks like a hooded figure. So either someone that broke onto the property or somebody that's been hiding there for an extended period of time, which obviously wouldn't be difficult to do considering the security guard is sleeping.
A disturbing shadow is settling over this room. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit, Kenton Bryant Music writes, my buddy had his motion sensor go off for this. It never goes off unless his dog walks in front of the camera. The only problem? The dog was locked in the bedroom at the time. This was captured on his friend's Wise security camera in February of 2020. The video shows a darkened room with a light source at one end. A dark shadow sweeps into view, covering the light source briefly before disappearing from sight. The strangest part about this is that the shadow seems not to touch the ground. Is it flying? Redditor Gucci the God says that it could be lights from a passing car, coupled with the low light capture of the camera. But the OP nixes this idea, saying there's no window there and the driveway is private. Some in the comments think this is legit paranormal footage. This really looks like a shadow figure to me. What do you think?
To me, that really does look like some sort of shadow figure. It could also be a car passing by, but if they do have a private driveway, the chances of that are pretty low. And again, because his dog is locked in a room, there's really not too many options other than a really creepy looking glitch or an actual spirit living in his house. And because of the way that it floated across frame, I'm really concerned it might actually be a freaking ghost. If I saw something like that on my security camera, I would be moving out immediately.
This dog knows what's up. Published by Ghost Hunting Unique 0.4 in April of 2022. This dog is seen staring down the road. He then runs away without explanation. That's when this figure appears suddenly in the middle of the road. The figure later vanishes. But then this weirdo pops up, scaring a passerby. It's unclear what he wants, but he too vanishes after a moment.
What the hell is going on here? It seems like people are just popping in and out of existence. First, this guy literally teleported in front of the house, and then it looks like this other man just appeared out of nowhere. So either something is wildly wrong with this camera, or these people can freaking teleport.
Later, another figure disappears as he's crossing the street. Is this just a road of no return? The Bermuda Triangle of pavement? Or is something else going on here?
So what, now everyone on this street is just disappearing? This has to be some sort of editing or camera trick, because if this is real, then they are right. This is the Bermuda Triangle of streets. Whoever goes there just disappears into thin air.
This unexplained figure is keeping me up at night. Published by Fashad Rai in March of 2022. This image has spread internationally on YouTube and elsewhere online. The image shows this figure in a dress, somehow perched high on a wall. Where its face should be, long dark hair is instead two glowing white orbs in place of its eyes. Has this ghost been watching too much Spider-Man? How is it fixed so high like this on the wall? After doing some digging, I can't find out any information about this image's original source. I wasn't even able to find the video associated with it.
I will definitely be thinking about this picture when I'm trying to fall asleep tonight. How the hell are they just literally crawling on the wall? It's definitely giving Spider-Man. The hair in front of the face with the glowing eyes is definitely really creepy, but because we don't know the source of this photo, we don't know if it's real or not, and we don't even know where the hell it came from. Like, who took it? Where is it? Who the hell is that? Absolutely zero answers, which makes all of this even scarier.
There's something unnatural in this yard. Can you tell what it is? Published by Ghost Chanel in April of 2022. You can see a white object moving in the darkness. The object is a little figure. The figure's arms reaches out, and then this happens. Reaching out his arms moves the cart back. After moving it back again, the ghost disappears from view, only to reappear on the other side of the cart. A moment later, he is sleeping on it. Are these phantom powers being used for good or evil? They seem to be just for fun.
Okay, this is another really confusing one, because this spirit started off moving this big cart by literally just pointing in the direction that it wanted it to be moved, and then it teleported, and then it decided to fall asleep on the cart. What is going on? Is this a spirit, or is it just a person with really crazy superpowers? Maybe the ghost just got really tired and needed to take a nap.
If Alexa ever laughs like this, throw her out. Posted to TikTok by Harry McClary. This virtual assistant has been acting out lately inside Harry's room. After giggling creepily, Alexa says this.
The deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of a deceased person is known as a seance.
Did Harry make a deliberate attempt to contact a person who has passed on? Did he have a seance? Did he even ask Alexa about it? Alexa also shares this skill. I'm guessing Harry doesn't want her to try it again, especially not after this creepy.
In hotels, you hear the guests having all these paranormal experiences, so it's very interesting to see it from the perspective of an employee. Hi, my beautiful people. It's your girl Yana, and I'm back today with yet another video. And I really hope you guys are ready, because today we're gonna be taking a look at even more scary videos that are bound to give you nightmares. So grab a blanket, grab a snack, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it.
In a chilling TikTok video that's been making waves online, user Renee Yorovi, a nurse working the night shift at her local hospital, shared an unsettling experience. During a quiet night, she and a colleague began hearing some strange noises. Curious and slightly unnerved, she decided to film the area to see if she could capture anything unusual. Take a look at what was caught.
¡Ey! Váyanse de aquí, ahorita va a prender un incienso. Se les acabó el chistecito.
I'm sorry, did you guys see that? I don't know if it's just me, but there was like a ginormous dark figure just standing in the corner. How did they not see that? I do not like this whatsoever.
Watching that again, in the far corner, a dark silhouette of a person can be seen standing motionless. What makes the footage even more unsettling is that neither of the nurses seemed to notice the figure at the time.
That's what's so mind-blowing to me, because it's literally standing right in front of them. I bet you when they were watching this footage back, they were freaked the hell out.
Given the hospital setting, many viewers were quick to speculate that the shadowy figure could be the spirit of a former patient who passed away in this very hospital. The idea that the video might have captured a ghost has left viewers both spooked and fascinated, with the clip quickly going viral.
It does kind of make sense. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times already, but considering all the things that go down in hospitals, I can't even imagine the amount of energy that can get trapped in there. I feel like I'd be more surprised if a hospital wasn't haunted. That has got to be a spirit of like a past patient or something that is either stuck in the hospital or is just like having trouble moving on. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think this is a spirit, or is it like an actual literal patient just walking around the hospital?
Homeowner Della D, known on social media as Della Dawson, recently experienced a chilling encounter in the early hours of the morning. At 4:16 a.m, her Ring doorbell security system captured unsettling footage of an unknown woman at the front door. The mysterious visitor is behaving oddly, peering through the glass door into the home as if searching for something or someone.
This is Matt. Matt has no idea what car servicing and MOT are, but Matt doesn't care because he has Fixter, who finds him the best garage, drives his car there.
Or someone.
Okay, something is definitely wrong with her. I think that's pretty safe to say considering the way she's behaving. If I were the homeowner in this situation, I would not even open the door. I would just call up the police and let them handle it.
This continues for some time.
What the hell is she doing, just literally staring straight into the camera? That is low-key really creepy.
Della, who slept through the entire incident, was alarmed when she reviewed the footage the following morning. The woman was a complete stranger, and Della had never seen her around the neighborhood before. The eerie encounter has left her feeling uneasy, and she shared the video online as a warning to others to remain vigilant.
I do not blame the girl for getting freaked out, because I would as well. You can't just walk up to people's houses like that and just stare inside. It's just such a creepy thing to do. I really wonder what her intention is. I think it is pretty obvious that she is not in the right state of mind. So for all we know, even she herself doesn't know what she's trying to do here. Really weird.
A chilling piece of footage has surfaced from a man living in Indonesia who who captured something unsettling while boarding a plane at Juanda International Airport back in 2020. The uploader, who was the first passenger to board the plane that day, decided to record his experience as he walked through the empty cabin. But as he moves down the aisle, the camera catches something that's left viewers baffled. A mysterious figure or presence seems to peek out from behind one of the seats to his right.
I have ever in my life seen a haunted airplane before, but that to me looks like a freaking ghost on a plane. Because as he's walking through the aisle, you see something shift back into the seat, but then when he walks past the seat, there is literally no one there. I did not even know airplanes could be haunted. You learn something new every day.
The uploader insists that the plane was completely empty at the time of recording, leaving many to wonder what exactly is being caught on camera here. This eerie incident has sparked a wave of speculation, with some suggesting the possibility of a supernatural encounter, while others remain skeptical, believing it could be a simple optical illusion or even someone playing a prank. Whatever the explanation, the footage continues to captivate and creep out those who have seen it.
Okay, but what kind of optical illusion could it be? Like, it seems like he is just walking through the aisles of the plane. I shouldn't be seeing someone pop their head out of the seat and then completely disappear. Like, that's not really an optical illusion, that's a freaking ghost. So unless someone really is messing with him, I don't really know what that could be. Because again, as he walked by that seat, there was no one there. So what the freaking hell was it?
A homeowner who goes by the TikTok username Beard & Josh has been documenting a series of unsettling encounters that have left viewers disturbed. According to Josh, he's been experiencing something strange involving his neighbour's child, who was taken to standing eerily still in his front yard for unusually long periods of time. In one particularly chilling instance, captured by his Ring doorbell security camera, Josh noticed that the child had been standing in his yard, motionless, for over 30 minutes. Concerned, he decided to approach the boy to see if everything was alright. This is the footage.
Based on the Ring camera footage, he's been here for about 35 minutes now. Let's see if we can get the creepy neighbor kid. Okay.
Despite Josh's repeated attempts to engage with the boy, asking if he's okay or where his parents are, the child remains silent, staring straight ahead without moving.
That kid is really, really creepy. I mean, to stand in someone's front yard for 30 minutes is creepy as it is, but to be standing there in a creepy costume makes it that much more terrifying. And not to mention, like, you're trespassing. Get off this guy's property. I find it really interesting how this guy is just slowly walking up to the kid. Either the kid is just trying to mess with him, or there is something seriously wrong with him. Regardless, get him the hell off your property.
In a follow-up clip, Josh provided additional details. The boy is around 10 to 11 years old and lives 7 or 8 houses away. This strange behaviour isn't an isolated event. The child reportedly comes to Josh's yard about once a week, each time staying for an unnervingly long duration. Despite the oddity of the situation, Josh has yet to involve the police, though he has attempted to speak with the boy's parents. So far, nothing has come of these conversations, leaving many to wonder what might be going on in the child's life that leads him to such strange behaviour.
I gotta be so real with you, if talking to the parents didn't work, you gotta just call up the police. Like, I don't really understand what you expect to happen if he's doing this every week and he doesn't plan on stopping. What, you're just gonna let him do this? Absolutely not. Call someone and get that damn kid off your property. Especially with that costume, like, I really do not know what this kid is trying to do.
An undisclosed hotel in the United States has recently become the centre of some eerie events, leading staff members to believe that the building might be haunted. Over the past few months, employees have reported a series of bizarre occurrences that have left them unnerved and questioning what might be lurking in the hotel's halls. The strange activity came to a head on April 13, 2024, when a staff member received a phone call from one of the guest rooms.
Alright, so we're getting crazy calls from this room that is unoccupied in the second floor. And this is like the 3rd time it's happened.
When they go to investigate, they find the room completely empty.
Okay. Here's the phone. No one's calling, no one's here. Everything's chilling.
Okay, I gotta say that is insanely freaky. So this video is actually being recorded by hotel staff because they were getting repeated phone calls from one of their own guest rooms. How freaking scary is that? Especially because they're saying that the room is completely unoccupied. And I mean, you can see in this video, he goes in there and it is pitch black. No one is in there. So who or what keeps making these spam calls? This one is actually really creepy.
The eerie thing is, this happened over and over again, despite no one occupying the room. In another instance, 2 staff members captured some unsettling footage while cleaning the hotel. While doing their duties, they decided to film a little game on their phone. The cleaners wanted to see if they could race the elevator to the bottom floor by running down the stairs. They placed their smartphone facing the elevator and began running, but that's when their phone captured something rather eerie. Take a look. The elevator door keeps opening and closing repeatedly, all on its own.
I will say that is definitely terrifying. However, I am curious if there's even a tiny chance that the elevator keeps opening and closing because she left her phone in there. Like maybe the phone is making the elevator sensor think that someone is still trying to enter or exit the elevator. You know what I mean? I could be wrong and it could be a straight up ghost, but I do think there's a slight possibility that it's her phone that is setting the elevator off. Let me know in the comments what you guys think.
Also, what sounds like a mysterious voice can be faintly heard in the background. Perhaps the most chilling incident occurred when staff members were preparing a guest room. Take a look at what they caught on camera. It can be hard to see at first, but if we slow it down and brighten the image, a dark figure is standing at the back of the room. You can see it in the reflection of the mirror.
Oh my god, y'all are dealing with a demon. Girl, you gotta switch jobs or something because that is a haunted hotel. I feel like with the elevator, it could have gone one way or the other, but this is pretty undisputable. There's straight up a dark figure in the corner of that room. And again, I find it so interesting because they didn't even notice it, which somehow makes it even scarier. Oh, you guys, I really don't like this. Why are hotels so creepy?
These occurrences, ranging from unexplained phone calls to ghostly apparitions, have become a near daily occurrence at the hotel. The staff, while not certain of what exactly is causing these strange events, are convinced that something otherworldly may be the cause. As these strange phenomena continue to unfold, the hotel's reputation as a potential haunted hotspot is growing, leaving both employees and guests on edge.
A lot of the times in hotels, you hear the guests having all these paranormal experiences, so it's very interesting to see it from the perspective of an employee. I literally cannot imagine what it would be like working in a haunted hotel, especially if you're ever there alone. Quite literally sounds like my worst nightmare. I feel like if you put all these videos together, you definitely have a case for this hotel being haunted. Let me know in the comments, would you ever work in a haunted hotel? Because I gotta say, these girls are very brave for continuing to work there through all of this.
Some unusual footage has recently surfaced from Prague, Czechia, capturing what appears to be a mysterious white cube hovering in the air. The footage, uploaded by YouTuber Kirill Astra on July 31st, 2024, quickly went viral, sparking a flurry of speculation and curiosity online.
I have seen tons and tons of videos of unidentified flying objects, but I gotta say, never have I ever seen a flying cube. That is like a perfectly square cube just floating in the air. It's actually really confusing to look at because, like, what the hell is that? It almost looks like a glitch in the Matrix.
Viewers from around the world began to wonder if this strange sighting was evidence of advanced military tech or even an alien craft. As the video continued to gain traction, an explanation for the strange cube eventually came to light. It was later revealed that the object was not extraterrestrial or secretive military tech, but rather a wayward balloon released by the local circus act, Cirkla Patajka. Despite this more down-to-earth explanation, the sighting had already captured the imaginations of many.
Okay, so it's not a UFO. It's literally just a perfectly square balloon. I feel like that makes a lot more sense. I still can't imagine seeing this in real life and not knowing that it's a balloon. I would definitely assume that I just saw something absolutely crazy. I've never seen such a perfectly square balloon.
While this particular incident has a mundane explanation, Czechia has a history of much more puzzling UFO sightings. One of the most renowned cases occurred on July 12, 1987, known as the Vranov UFO incident. On that day, a bizarre event unfolded over the Vranov Reservoir, a popular destination filled with vacationers. The weather was typical for a summer day with clear skies dotted with clouds, making the following events all the more extraordinary. Witnesses described seeing a large black cigar-shaped object hovering silently in the sky above the reservoir. The object's appearance and behavior was so unusual that the Czech military was alerted. A helicopter regiment was swiftly dispatched to investigate, and pilots were ordered to pursue the unidentified craft. As the helicopters approached, the object displayed flight characteristics that defied conventional aerodynamics. Whenever the pilots managed to get the object in their crosshairs, it would abruptly change direction, evading capture with incredible agility.
I've never actually heard of this before, but it seems that there was a UFO incident that happened in this exact same location, and clearly it was real because the actual military was dispatched to deal with it. And even they couldn't catch up to the thing, which really goes to show you that it's some sort of aircraft that we have no idea about. Now, whether it's a UFO or it's just like an aircraft from another country, it's still very creepy. It definitely makes you wonder if aliens have been trying to make contact with us for some time now.
The situation escalated when the object suddenly began to approach the helicopters at great speed. The pilots, now on high alert, were forced to take evasive action to avoid a potential collision. The unidentified craft moved at what they described as supersonic speed, darting across the sky from Vranov towards Brno and then further towards Bratislava. Despite its extraordinary maneuvers, the object eventually disappeared from both visual and radar contact, leaving no trace behind.
The fact that the object tried to fly into the helicopters is really scary because it goes to show that like it was ready to attack. Even the military could not handle whatever this was.
What made the Vranov UFO incident particularly unsettling was the object's apparent intelligence and awareness of the pursuing helicopters. It not only evaded their attempts to track it, but also displayed behavior suggesting it was deliberately toying with the pilots. The event was thoroughly investigated by the military, but no definitive explanation was ever provided, leaving the incident.
We know what our pets are like. They're funny, cuddly, sweet, but how do we
was ever provided, leaving the incident shrouded in mystery. The Vranov UFO incident remains one of the most notorious and well-documented UFO encounters in Czechia. It continues to fuel speculation about the possibility of extraterrestrial visitors or advanced technology beyond our understanding. For many, it serves as a reminder that while some UFO sightings can be easily explained, others remain baffling mysteries that challenge our perceptions of reality. So while the white cube in Prague may have turned out to be just a balloon, Czechia's history shows that not all strange sightings in the skies can be so easily explained.
I find it really interesting that I've never heard about this before because it seems like one of the more legit UFO sightings. I mean, you guys, they had the military involved. Like, they were taking this very seriously. I'm actually very curious to read up more on this event because I didn't even know something like that happened. That is insane.
We often explore the theory that we might be living in a simulated reality, a concept that has intrigued philosophers, scientists, and even filmmakers for years. This theory, popularized by the 1999 film The Matrix, suggests that our perceived reality could actually be an elaborate computer simulation. Now, a former NASA physicist named Thomas Campbell is attempting to provide scientific evidence to support this mind-bending idea. Thomas Campbell, who has a background in both physics and consciousness studies, has been working to develop experiments that might prove we are indeed living inside a matrix-like construct. His work is detailed in a 2017 paper published in the International Journal of Quantum Foundations, where he proposes several innovative experiments designed to detect whether our reality is being rendered like a video game. One of the key experiments Campbell is focusing on is a new take on the famous double-slit experiment, a foundational demonstration in quantum physics. Traditionally, this experiment shows that light and matter can both behave as particles and waves depending on whether or not they're being observed.
So it looks like this guy is taking the simulation theory very serious. He's trying to figure out if we're actually living in the Matrix. I do feel like if we were living in the Matrix, then we probably would be programmed to not be able to figure out that we live in the Matrix. But who knows, maybe some people are able to crack the code.
Campbell's twist on the experiment aims to remove the observer entirely, hypothesizing that if there's no player or observer, the recorded information might never have existed in the first place. This would be akin to a video game environment where the world around the player only exists when it's being observed or interacted with.
Wait, so in theory that would mean that when we're all asleep, the environment around us disappears? That sounds really scary to me. Like the concept of the things around me not being fully rendered. I don't know, I really do not like the idea of that.
In essence, Campbell's theory suggests that the universe is participatory. That is, it only exists when there's someone there to observe it, much like a game that only renders the world around the player as they explore it. If Campbell's experiments were to yield positive results, it could provide strong evidence that reality as we know it is in fact a sophisticated simulation. This hypothesis is being taken seriously enough that scientists at California State Polytechnic University, or Cal Poly, have begun testing Campbell's ideas. Additionally, Campbell has established a non-profit organisation, the Centre of the Unification of Science and Consciousness, or CUSAC, to fund these groundbreaking experiments. According to CUSAC, these experiments are expected to provide strong scientific evidence that we live in a computer-simulated virtual reality.
I don't know why, but just the concept of messing with consciousness and our reality is really scary. It just feels like we're starting to delve into things that we maybe probably shouldn't. But then again, I completely understand like the curiosity and him wanting to get to the bottom of what the hell our consciousness even is. It's a massive subject with a ton to unpack, but I appreciate that someone is out there doing the research. It is worth testing out and trying every single theory.
Campbell's work builds on earlier ideas about simulated reality, such as those proposed by Swedish philosopher Nick Bostrom in 2003. Bostrom's famous paper, Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?, argues that if technological progress continues at its current pace, it's likely that future civilizations will run simulations of their ancestors. Eventually, the majority of minds in existence could be those of simulated beings, leading to the conclusion that we ourselves are likely living in a simulation. However, Campbell's approach differs from Bostrom's. Rather than focusing on the idea of an ancestor simulation, Campbell posits that consciousness is not a byproduct of the simulation, but is instead fundamental to reality itself. His experiments aim to demonstrate the profound connection between consciousness and the cosmos, potentially challenging our conventional understanding of reality.
I'm really starting to feel like my brain is melting. So this other dude is saying that our consciousness could now low-key be connected to the cosmos, which I gotta say also sounds pretty convincing. I don't know, man. I feel like there's way too many theories, and at least one part of every theory is gonna make at least some sense. But at the end of the day, none of us really know. All we can do is just guess and assume what this life is all about. There's no way of like 100% verifying.
If Campbell's experiments succeed, the implications would be staggering. Proving that humanity is trapped inside a virtual reality would not only revolutionize our understanding of existence, but also raise profound questions about the nature of consciousness, free will, and the universe itself. While Campbell's claims are extraordinary and will require extraordinary evidence, the very pursuit of such questions highlights the ever-expanding boundaries of human inquiry into the mysteries of existence. Whether or not we truly live in a simulation, the quest to understand the nature of reality continues to captivate and challenge us.
I really do feel like if any of these theories did ever become confirmed, it would absolutely and utterly change life as we know it, because now we would be aware that life itself is a simulation. And is that really a good thing? I'm not really sure. But alright, you guys, we finally made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Definitely let me know in the comments which one of these videos scared you the most. I gotta say that the haunted hotel was definitely the scariest, because I literally cannot imagine that the staff was getting phone calls from an empty room. Like, something about that is just so terrifying to me. But I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. it's your girl Yana, and I'm back today with yet another video. And for today's video, we are going to be diving into the dark side of the internet yet again. We're going to take a look at some really scary and unexplainable videos. So if you're ready, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
It looks like this person is trying to do some repairs on their car. Maybe something's wrong with the air conditioning. Then I realize it's not a repair, it's a removal. A large snake appears to have crawled inside of the car, and the only way to get rid of it is through a game of reptilian tug-of-war. They struggle for almost 2 minutes, and lucky for him, the snake is too exhausted to strike when he drops it. Most people look for loose change, while others have to look for loose snakes. This is definitely something I wasn't expecting. It goes to show you never really know what's lurking in your car.
All I'm thinking about is, what if you were driving and in the middle of you driving, the snake just dropped into your lap? I would freak the hell out and probably crash into something. I really do wonder how a snake even ends up getting stuck inside of a car. Like, did it somehow sneak in from underneath the hood of the car? And if that's the case, how often does something like that happen? Because that sounds terrifying, and I sure as hell don't want it to happen to me.
A YouTuber named Tret uploaded this scary moment in Russia that has people wondering what it could possibly be. He looks down a boarded up well in the middle of the forest and sees a scary face in the dark. This could be a weird creature sighting or a ghost sighting depending on how you look at it. To be more realistic though, I see the head of a turtle. The blue eyes are weird though, so maybe that's not it at all.
What kind of turtle looks like that? To me personally, that does not look like a turtle whatsoever. It actually does look to be some sort of weird creature. Its eyes are quite literally glowing blue.
A YouTuber named Flair is left shaken after a fishing trip goes wrong, and you'll never guess how. It's a clear day when they hit the lake, but after a while, dark clouds soon roll in. Flair and his friend are too busy catching fish to notice a sudden shift. That's when nature tells him it's time to go back indoors. His line pops with static. Lightning has struck the lake somewhere and sent a jolt through them both. One of them gets into the water to tie the boat off. A risky move in my opinion. He's out of the water again before lightning strikes twice. I'm glad they both appear to be unharmed. But talk about a close call.
It seems like while these two guys were on their little fishing trip, the weather ended up getting bad very, very quickly. So much so that lightning ended up striking some part of the lake that they were in. They decided to get off the water and onto land, which is honestly a really good idea. You don't really want to be on water if there's lightning. I'm just very happy they ended up getting out of there okay, because it was a very dangerous situation. At least they have a really crazy fishing trip story now.
This YouTuber is exploring a scary abandoned place in India when their adventure goes wrong at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It looks like a real ghost sighting at first, but somebody walks right in front of a light, so that could be what's making the shadow figure appear. Still, it's bizarre enough to make them leave, and when they look back, they see a ghost in the window. The light passes by the window one time, doubles back, and there it is, another ghost sighting. Look again though, and you'll see it was actually standing in the window the entire time. This could be a shadow person, a djinn, or one of their friends wearing a cloak. They claim it was a ghost, but I'm not sure.
I mean, it's definitely giving ghost vibes to me, especially in that very first clip when somebody very clearly walked behind them. That was so freaking scary. And obviously whoever it was decided to stick around and watch them leave because they caught it again through the window.
Some friends look kind of bored when a flying apparition decides to give them something to do.
Oh hi! Would you like a free gift? I'm a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and this is the Book of Mormon. It teaches us more.
Bored when a flying apparition decides to give them something to do. They follow it and don't see anything, just darkness. I was ready to write this off as special effects, but keep your eye on this empty space. At 13 seconds, you can just barely make out the head of someone standing there if you look close. Cue the chills.
Wait, you can actually see someone in the background. I don't know what it is with ghosts loving to photobomb pictures, but they sure do it a lot. And it's always insanely creepy. Like, you're never gonna see a ghost do like a cute little pose, you know what I mean? They're always just like doing a blank stare straight into the camera.
Something keeps coming into this creepy front yard out in the countryside. Something from the edge of the woods. He's seen it once before, and soon he sees it again. It looks like an extra tall, extra dimensional creature with a single horse-like leg bent inward at the knee. The upper half looks like that of a man. It looks like it could maybe be a trick of the light from the single street light in his yard. However, his camera is relatively still when it happens. The creature moves left to right, but his camera isn't moving enough to blame it on the lighting, in my opinion.
Okay, that totally looks like a skinwalker or some sort of undiscovered ginormous forest creature. And y'all know that forests really creep me out. I honestly can't imagine what it would be like living in a house on the edge of like a really big forest. Wouldn't you be scared that you'd have all sorts of like animals and creatures just creeping their way up to your house?
A Twitter user named Jaren Mala is bored and has nothing to do, so he flashes his high beams at an empty car across the lot to amuse himself for a bit.
Somebody be in there. Shut the f*** up. Somebody be in there. What the f*** is that?
I don't know what that is. Maybe a jacket, maybe something else. But it wasn't there before, and when they dared to flash their high beams a split second later, it is no longer there. Now that's just terrifying.
How does that even happen? They were flashing their high beams at this random car for fun, and very quickly it stopped being fun because something appeared in the front seat of that car. It's nearly impossible to be able to tell what it is, but it really does look scary. One moment it's not there, and the next moment it just appears.
A YouTuber named Backpacker Tampan and his friend Tom go ghost hunting in Indonesia. They want to explore an old hotel, but to get there they have to go through some scary woods and cross a narrow bridge over rushing waters, a bridge with some sketchy areas missing. A few planks too many if you ask me. When they get inside the hotel, they find themselves in awe of the sheer size of the place and somehow get split up. This room in particular absolutely refuses to stay in focus, and it feels to him like someone could be near. And someone in the comments says that a shadow person is hanging around the doorway outside of the room 4 seconds later. It's nothing more than his reflection if you ask me. Weird, but not paranormal.
To be honest with you, I'm not really sure if that was his reflection, because he seemed to be a little bit too far for that to be his. Also, can we just talk about the size of this hotel? It is absolutely humongous. I definitely don't think they should have split up. We all know what happens in movies when they all split up. They start getting picked off one by one.
But then he records movement across the doorway at the exact moment he thinks Tom is near.
Maybe he's downstairs. Oh, very dark, I can see. Tom?
Whatever this is we're looking at, it isn't Tom. It seems to follow him from floor to floor wherever he goes. Eventually, Tom is found, and together, at that moment, they sense a third presence standing next to them.
Okay, we might gonna record here, I think. Can you do it with your phone? Recorder.
I think it sounds like editing because you can hear a bass line if you listen closely, like it's part of a song.
Can you do it with your phone?
Tell me if you think this really happens, or do you think it was added later?
Let me know in the comments if you guys think the laughter was added in or not. Either way though, initially when I heard it, it sounded really scary. And I mean, very clearly something was following them around that hotel. There were quite a few unexplained figures all over the place that we saw that really do make me think this place might have been haunted. I also do wonder why it was abandoned because it looks to be in pretty decent condition. It honestly looks really stunning. I feel like they could bring that place back into business.
Green Gables is the name of a fine dining restaurant in Jennerstown, Pennsylvania. The 100-year-old building is said to be haunted to the point where one worker would start recording with their phone whenever they felt something was wrong, and one night they were right.
And I don't know, something doesn't feel right about this place. Like it's I can't even describe what it feels like right now. Like this is just, what is that? Nope.
Nope.
A shadowy hand definitely just extended across the waist of the statue in my opinion. It doesn't look like a trick of the light or anything like that. These creepy situations are exactly what this century-old haunted estate is known for, so I think it's real.
So he had a really bad feeling about this place, and while he was recording, a freaking hand popped out from behind the statue. And I just have to say, his reaction is iconic. He immediately noped his way right out of there. I mean, I am not kidding. He did not stick around for 1 second. Honestly, if I was in the situation he is, I would have reacted the exact same way.
A YouTuber named Dylan Richardson is teaching his dog how to speak when his creepy next-door neighbor, who is apparently annoyed by the barking dog, decides to stare at everyone through his window instead of knocking on the front door. The neighbor could have mental problems because he is looking into this home with no shirt on despite the cold weather. They chase him away, but he literally vanishes around the side of the house without a trace. No camera editing or anything. That's when Dylan's friend gets this idea. I guess this neighbor wanted to get frostbite more than he wanted to get caught. I don't know how he could possibly manage to perfectly burrow under the snow in 3 seconds without leaving any footprints behind. So I'm gonna say this creepy neighbor video, while strange and entertaining, is made up.
Can you even imagine having a neighbor like that? This man was fully staring into their home through the windows, completely shirtless. In the middle of the winter, I mean, there was snow absolutely everywhere. Very clearly, this guy has to be delusional or something. There just has to be something wrong with him because a normal person does not do that.
Kid Amy 23 is filming random scenery in the car when they drive by this weird mysterious figure that is more of an after image than an actual person. A rare sighting of a ghost driving out of Cleburne, Texas, as she puts it. It certainly could be a ghost, but for some reason I feel like it could just be a mannequin or something that somebody set up in the window to freak people out when they drive by. And guess what? It worked.
Did it ever work? That thing looks so creepy. I will say though, I do think it's a mannequin. It doesn't really look to be a real person.
A creepy goat stands on 2 legs and stares ahead with beady black eyes. Reddit is trying to figure out if this is a statue, or is this a live animal trained to be as scary as possible. Its eyes kind of look expressive here at 9 seconds, and its ears somewhat move here, although that could just as easily be camera movement.
Okay, there is no way that is a real live goat. That has to be either a statue or a taxidermy, but it really makes you feel like it's staring into your soul. I truly do not know why anybody would want to own a statue like that. It's like extremely unsettling.
This was taken by a vacationer near Amsterdam in July of 2017. Looks normal at first, but the more you zoom in, the more you see a scary face gritting its teeth at you. The nose looks practically non-existent, and the eyes are nothing more than blackened lids. The mouth looks like a sneer. People are saying the face looks like it was photoshopped, and the face was possibly imported from the movie The Exorcist. I think it could just be a girl squinting in the sun, in which case the internet is making a big deal out of nothing. I mean, we've all had less than flattering pictures taken of us when we weren't paying attention.
Okay, wow, that picture really does look super scary. Her face genuinely looks like it is straight out of The Exorcist, but then again, it is taken from afar and it is very blurry, so she could just be squinting her eyes because of the sun. I mean, she is on a beach in the water after all, so although it looks insanely terrifying, it could be explained away. Maybe it is just a really poorly taken photo, or I'm wrong and that girl is actually truly demonic. In which case, I am praying for whoever took that photo.
In this video, 2 planes appear to be carelessly flying way too close to each other for almost a full minute, and I don't know why. I can't believe this would be planned, but at the same time, I can't believe none of the passengers on a commercial airliner are screaming if this is happening. I've never flown a plane before, but I know that you're way too close when you can see what color shirt the pilot of the other plane is wearing. Someone tell me what's going on here, because it looks like total chaos in my opinion, but also possibly planned, like maybe a formation for an air show or something.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and assume that this entire thing was completely planned. I just feel like that is not something that you would be able to do if it wasn't insanely thoroughly planned out. I mean, otherwise, I feel like it would potentially be insanely disastrous. So I really do think it's safe to say this was for some sort of like air show or something like that. However, I cannot even imagine being a passenger on one of those planes. I think I would personally pass out because I'm scared of airplanes as it is. Not to mention two planes are racing next to each other in the sky. That honestly sounds like my own personal kind of nightmare. But alright you guys, we have finally made it to the end of this video. Let me know in the comments which clip stood out to you the most. I have to say that video of that statue where the hand just suddenly crept up out of nowhere was really scary. I don't know why, I just can't stop thinking about it and how terrified I would be if it happened to me. Thankfully though, we are behind the safety of our screens. But if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I love you guys so much and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi my beautiful people, it's you. Alright kids, it is class time yet again. Today, my beautiful people, we are Alright kids, it is class time yet again. Today, my beautiful people, we are going to be learning about stalkers. I am talking about scary, very, very dangerous stalkers, okay? Stalkers that become so infatuated by you, so intrigued by you, that they make it their life's mission to follow you, to find out where you go, where you live, what you look like inside your home, what you do inside of your home, who really just want to become a part of your life, but in a very, very scary, creepy way. Now today, you guys, I collected a bunch of examples to show you of stalkers and what they look like. Not only that, but the things they do that make people uncomfortable and that can give you signs that yes, you may actually be getting stalked by someone. You know when you're just walking down the street and you feel like someone's watching you? Or even when you're sitting on the couch at home watching TV and you just feel like someone is behind you? Well, I promise the videos that I'm about to show you are going to make you think that yes, I might actually be getting watched right now. So first tip of the day before we even start, lock those doors, close those blinds, don't let anyone be able to peep inside your home. Now one more final thing before we get started, make sure to comment down below that you're here, okay? Because I am taking attendance and I want to know that you're paying attention. Now let's get started with this lesson. Now this very first case we're going to talk about is going to help you guys learn so much about what type of things to look out for and to avoid. We're going to be talking about the Salim stalker. A woman in South Korea noticed that as she was walking home, she was actually being followed by a man. This man was very creepy, okay, and he made her feel very uncomfortable. She was actually walking home when he followed her all the way to her building, and get this, when she got into the building and got into the elevator, he followed after her and actually went into the same elevator that she went into. Many people speculate that he purposely pressed a higher floor than her so as not to arouse suspicion and not worry her, which is exactly what you want to do, guys, okay? If you feel like something's off, if you feel like someone might be following you, be worried, be scared, be prepared. It's better to worry for no reason than not to worry and end up in a bad situation. Always watch your surroundings. Always question everything around yourself. I will always rather take being the person that overreacts and is a bit more paranoid than the person who thinks nothing of a situation and then ends up in a bad predicament. Thankfully, this girl had that bad feeling, and once she left that elevator, she got extremely lucky. Let's watch and see what happens. Do you see how lucky she got in this particular moment? Now in this clip, you're gonna notice this guy is standing around for quite a while. He is waiting for her to either come out once again or unlock the door. This girl got so lucky and yet so unlucky at the same time. He is still just standing there, waiting for a moment, waiting for her to open that door. Honestly, I think he's even trying to open the door himself. Alright guys, so what we saw in this video is this girl walked out of the elevator. He followed her very closely, but waited for her to get out first so as, again, not to worry her, not to freak her out even more. We noticed in this clip that the moment she gets into the apartment, the door locks. Now, a lot of doors don't have this, but this specific door auto-locked, which means as soon as the door closes, it automatically locks by itself. That right there is what definitely saved this girl's life. Many people wonder and speculate what would have happened if she was just 1 second too late, or if the door didn't lock. You can see this guy is trying to get inside, so if it was unlocked, I feel like this story would have had a way different outcome. I've even read in places that many believe this guy actually used his phone flashlight to look at her keypad on the door and try to figure out what the password was based on her fingerprints. This footage actually went viral in South Korea and the guy turned himself in. So he has since been arrested and this girl is thankfully very safe right now. But we can learn a lot from this clip. First of all, auto locks can save your life. Second of all, just because you go in an elevator with someone and they press a different button doesn't mean that you're safe, okay? If you feel uncomfortable, get out of that elevator, okay? Scream for help, scream fire. It's actually been proven that when a lot of people scream for help, a lot of people don't actually help them out or look their way because they're worried for their own safety. So the best thing to do in these types of situations, instead of screaming for help, scream fire. Even if there is no fire, if you feel like you're in immediate danger, scream fire. Because when people hear fire, it automatically makes them worry for their own safety, so they are going to run and either help you out, or at least you're gonna get someone's attention. Either way, this girl was clearly alone in this building. There don't seem to be people walking up and down the stairs or in and out of the elevator, so she was in a really uncomfortable situation where she was pretty much isolated with this man. All in all, she is safe, but take note, kids, get those auto locks. And even more importantly, trust your freaking gut. If you feel like something's wrong, get yourself out of there. I would rather you guys be safe than sorry. Alright guys, this next clip we're gonna speak about is honestly, I think, the craziest thing that I never thought would ever happen to anyone, but it happened to this poor guy. So a man had noticed that food has started going missing in his New York apartment, and immediately he was like, it must be my girlfriend, okay? My girlfriend must be eating all this food behind my back. So he actually confronted his girlfriend about it and said, hey, listen, like, are you eating all my food? And she said, no, are you crazy? Like, why would I go behind your back to eat your food? But he thought he was gonna outsmart her and put a camera in his kitchen to catch her in the act. Can you believe that? This guy took matters into his own hands, but what he found was something that I'm sure he never expected and would honestly be my biggest fear. Now let's watch the video and I'll fill you guys on the rest after. So this is his kitchen. We can see there's a little door, table, there's a fridge in the corner, and now we see somebody making their way inside. You can tell whoever this is, they're trying to be very quiet as to not wake up the person
One, 2, 3, let it go. I'm in Kingston upon Thames to grant some wishes and help some lucky pairs win some magical prize.
You want smoother online payments, right? It's time to upgrade. Elevon simplifies online payments with
Be quiet as to not wake up the person living in the apartment. I mean, she's obviously been doing it successfully because this guy had no freaking idea. I mean, it takes her a long time to even just get off that table, down the stool, onto the ground. That's how quiet and careful she is being. And now she's at the fridge, drinking what seems to be like milk or juice. This is just so freaking creepy. It's so weird to me. She's just so casually standing there. Now that we watched the video, I'm gonna fill you in on more of the story. So obviously, as you guys figured, this woman is not the girlfriend of the guy. This person is an actual stalker who had gotten in through the fire escape of this guy's building. She was actually hiding in a storage unit for weeks this entire time, and when he was asleep, she would walk out and eat all of his food. Now obviously, once he saw this footage, he immediately left his apartment and called the police, who told him this information. Now my question to you guys is, do you think this woman had bad intentions, or do you think she was just trying to find a nice place to sleep and some food? I feel like either way, this is extremely creepy and disrespectful to whoever's apartment this is, to just walk in there and hide and eat their food. But I do wonder, did she actually have bad intentions, or do you think she was just trying to get by? You guys, we can learn so much from this. When you get home, check your house. Make sure no one's freaking hiding in there. If you have that one loft or that like one basement that you just never go inside from time to time. Check up on your area, your surroundings. Is there anyone in there? Is there anything suspicious? Thankfully, this guy was not hurt and everything was resolved. But you know, look out for yourself. Make sure there's no one living in your apartment. Okay, this next story, I feel like a lot of you are going to get terrified by. Even I got scared because this is a story about a little kid, okay? This kid looks very young and he was targeted by a stalker by the name of Mr. Slim. So this kid actually received an anonymous note at his front door. It stated that this man would show up on a specific date at 6 p.m. in front of this kid's house. So when this day came, it was November 28th, 2012, this kid decided to tell his parents that he felt sick and wanted to stay home from school. Now his parents obviously had errands to run or work to go to, so he stayed home alone. He didn't tell his parents, which I believe was his first mistake. If you feel like someone might be stalking you or you feel uncomfortable, always tell your parents, okay? Your parents are not gonna get mad at you, they're going to help you out. So this kid's whole plan was, I'm gonna stay home, I'm gonna catch this guy on camera, and I'm gonna get him in trouble. So let's watch and see what this kid caught on camera. It's absolutely insane.